Yo, it's your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, back at you with a new video. Today's new video on a brand new platform. We're trying StreamYard out. I don't know how it's going to turn out. Hopefully that the connection ends up being pretty good, but I wanted to try out something new, something different. I've been having some issues with OBS. So I said, you know what? Let's fucking try this StreamYard out. Let's see if it ends up streaming okay. If it ends up working out for me, I might end up using this platform as we go into the 2021 NFL season. Message from a golden ego. Yo, what to do, my boy? Who are the best NFL pass rusher duos going into 2021 with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics? Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash the fucking like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can, either on here, patreon.com/NWSF or the GoFundMe. And if you're looking for merch, Northwest Sports Fanatic merch, a link is below every video on the YouTube page. Follow me, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram at NW Sports Fanatics. So anyone that's in the room, message from a golden eagle, and anyone else that hops into the room, let me know what you think. Do you guys like the setup? I definitely like the little side scrolling on the bottom of the screen, so that way we can go over topics. I definitely like that, like a little scoreboard at the bottom. So that's one thing that StreamYard offers a little bit easier than the OBS. Make sure you let me know with the connection, the picture, how I sound, the audio, give me some feedback, with what you see on here. Because like I said, I want to be able to use the best setup that's not going to fuck up my computer. And that way that you guys can get the best enjoyment. And I don't got to, restart the streams over and over. OBS has been fucking up. Yeah, I'm definitely much closer. That's kind of like the default. You got to see this ugly mug. This ugly mug is right in your face. So let me know. If it looks good, great. If it ends up sounding good, great. If it's if it's buffering, you got some issues, just let me know. This is the first time that I've actually used StreamYard. So I've heard from a few different people that they use it. It's a little bit newer of a streaming platform, but so far from what I can see, it looks like there isn't any issues that I can see really with the internet speed or if it's lagging. Things look pretty good. I like that it's got the Northwest Sports Fanatics. I can still use, my custom green screen and whatnot. Jurassic Ninja in the building. Sound check, visual check, network check, you're good. Oh, that's awesome, man. That's good to hear. You get to see this ugly mug a little bit closer than you're used to. But I ended up seeing this thing on PFF. All right, Pro Football Focus. So I said, you know what? Let's try out this new setup. And I definitely like the side scrolling on the bottom. That's the coolest feature that I can see right now. So we can go over topics. And then I can also go over some of the comments like this as well. So I could be like, boom, message from a golden eagle. Yo, what to do? And then I can go, oh, let's go. Jurassic Ninja. If I want to go there, boom, let's go. All right. And then I want to go down here. What up, Orion and the NWSF? Let's go to Jurassic Ninja. I like the setup. Dope. That's what I'm talking about. He says, a message from a golden eagle says, you're much closer now, bro. Your ugly mug is too big. Hey, I got to do what I got to do. So everything looks good and sounds great. That's good to hear. So I like the, kind of the options that I have on here. But PFF, they started off this little article this morning, right? And they kind of talked about it yesterday as well as a little bit today. And it's kind of going over some of the options that we can talk about in Pro Football Focus. So the options that I want to go over, all right, the options that I want to go over, J.J. Watt and Chandler Jones. Chandler Jones. So obviously with that option, that's definitely going to be in the top 5. They got Chase Young and Sweat. That's going to be definitely another one that's going to be up there towards the top. All right, Von Miller and Bradley Chubb. We don't know about Aaron Rodgers, and if depending on if Rodgers goes to Denver, more than likely Bradley Chubb is gone with the trade. They got Myles Garrett and Jadeveon Clowney. Clowney doesn't really get sacks anymore, so at this point, it's kind of, I get it. Myles Garrett is one of my favorite players in the NFL. But Jadeveon Clowney isn't really a pass rusher anymore. They got Cameron Jordan and Davenport as one of the options, and they got my boy from Tampa Bay. All right, they got Shaq Barrett and Jason Pierre-Paul. And Jurassic Ninja, of course, I'm going to be able to show some love right there. Jurassic Ninja. See, this is a cool feature that I like too, that I can actually bring up what you guys talk about on the screen. What about Aaron Donald and Leonard Floyd? Well, pretty much Aaron Donald paired up with anybody is going to be fire, but Leonard Floyd is definitely underrated. But I wanted to kind of go over some of the top pieces that I feel moving forward into the 2021 season. So that is a good one. That's, obviously didn't make their particular list, which is a damn shame. With Cameron Jordan and Davenport, Cameron Jordan is definitely one of those guys that you could mention, in the category as being one of the better pass rushers in the league. But Davenport, to me, not I'm being a Tampa Bay Buccaneer hater, but Davenport is still a little bit unproven to me. So I feel at this point, I don't know if I would put him on the list. Message from a Golden Eagle. We got dogs on that D-line. You do. Fletcher Cox and a few others. All right. But we got to make sure that they can stay healthy throughout the season, but they're not on the list either. Von Miller and Bradley Chubb would be good, right? But we don't really know what kind of health that we're going to get from Von Miller and Bradley Chubb either. Chubb ended up having that season-ending injury. Von Miller, not really the same player. Khalil Mack and Von Miller have taken kind of a step back, in my opinion. They're still great players, but they're really not the same players, I think, as they were maybe a few years ago. J.J. Watt and Chandler Jones. Chandler Jones. This might be my favorite out of the two, besides, Chase Young, who's going to be, pretty much the best defensive player in the NFL, not named Aaron Donald. That's facts. Sweat has got a lot of, up-and-coming skills. We don't really know what his potential is for sack lunches. Yum, 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 yum. I mean, he might get 5. He might get 10. He could get over 10. So obviously with Chase Young and Sweat, you got to almost put them at the top with J.J. Watt and Chandler Jones. People don't realize with J.J. Watt, even though he's older, and Chandler Jones, with those two, I mean, they could end up getting 20 combined, maybe 25. It's definitely possible. Myles Garrett and Clowney, I wouldn't have them on the list. I don't know why they put Clowney on the list with Garrett. Garrett's great. He'd get 20 by himself. But, Jadeveon Clowney, I mean, in the last couple years, I think he's gotten like 3. You know what I mean? I don't know if he, maybe 0 last season, 3 the year before. I don't think he's really been a pass rusher for quite some time. So I would definitely not have Myles Garrett and Clowney. I would have put Aaron Donald and Leonard Floyd over them based off PFF's list. Cameron Jordan and Davenport, that's kind of on the outside of the top 5, where I have to see what Davenport can do. Sheldon Rankins got kind of beat up, so you didn't really get to see the full potential with that, defensive line. But if they had T-Rex still, T-Rex and Cameron Jordan, you would have to put them almost towards the top, especially what T-Rex did last season. The Bengals are going to benefit, and the Saints are probably going to hurt a little bit from having T-Rex move on, Trey Hendrickson. Shaq Barrett and JPP, thank God they got him on the list. And we saw what he did with Aaron Donald. We saw what the duo did, against the Washington football team, with Heineke for Meineke. We saw what, this duo can do throughout the season. So even though they're my guys, right? Even though they're my guys, I'm not necessarily going to put them number 1, but I definitely think that you could put them in the top 3, top 4. Shaq Barrett and JPP, if you're looking at both guys, like Chase Young is verified. Montez Sweat, we think that he's going to be good, right? J.J. Watt and Chandler Jones. Chandler Jones is coming off the injury, but we know Chandler Jones, when he's not injured, he can get you 10 to 15 sacks. J.J. Watt, more probably on that 6 to 10 range, but there's upside with him depending on the double teams that you get with Chandler Jones and J.J. Swatt, right? So with those guys, I definitely got Young and Sweat, Watt and Jones, and Shaq Barrett and JPP towards the top, because I think with J.J. Watt, there's some question marks. Right? With Montez Sweat, there's some question marks. Clowney, you don't know if he can do it or not. I know Myles Garrett can do it. Von Miller and Bradley Chubb, can they stay healthy? That's the question. And Cameron Jordan and Davenport, can Davenport stay healthy? What kind of results are you going to get? But with Shaq Barrett and JPP, they may not be your favorite. They're on my team, Tampa Bay. But I think that they both have been proven. You've seen Shaq Barrett, he can get 10, 15. He can get that high sack number, right? And JPP is one of those guys, even though he blew off his fucking finger with the fireworks, all right, he can still get to the quarterbacks and he can still make a huge impact on the D-line. So it's kind of a debatable thing, but I saw it on PFF. So I thought, Pro Football Focus, let's try StreamYard. Let's see what we can do. I definitely like the options that you can end up putting the side scrolling on the bottom. Awesome, right? You can do the messages popped up on the screen. One thing I was wondering though, on your guys' end, do you guys have the ability for like the donations and the super chat? Because I've never gone into a StreamYard as like a fan going into someone else's. So anyone that's in the chat, please comment below, give your boy a little bit of a heads up, on how I sound, how I look, visually, how everything is performing compared to the OBS that I've had some issues with. But having the messages pop up on the screen, love it. Side scrolling on the bottom, I like. Are you guys able to get the super chat? Is the super chat option available for you guys to donate if I use StreamYard? Because I mean, the whole thing is I need to be able to find a platform that's going to work good, right? And it also gives the opportunity, you know, when I'm grinding, you know, if I have an option, because if I don't have an option to get donations using StreamYard, even though the connection might be good, I want to be able to maximize, you know, all the hard work and everything. So if you're in the room, please comment below. Let me know, you know, some things. If it does give you the opportunity, I would assume that you still have the opportunity to do a super chat or donate to the. There we go. Bang. There we go. My boy. Thank you, man. And like I said, that wasn't me begging necessarily for a chat, but I honestly did not know. Jurassic Ninja, bang, $5. Yes, sir, it is. Awesome. And it seems like there's less issues with the internet connection. I had heard rumors that with StreamYard, it was going to be smoother, not as much pressure on the computer. Maybe my OBS program was just having issues. But if this is going to be like this visually, right? I think I might end up using this particular program moving forward. You got to see this ugly mug a little bit closer. I still got to figure out, like, if I'm going to do this particular option, what I'm going to do about a scoreboard. If I have to do the NFL games, because I want to be able to add things. But it seems like they want you to pay for StreamYard. They want you to be able to use their like Premiere service, where on OBS, I don't have to pay anything, right? So I get it. The connection's good. It looks good. Visually, it looks good. But if I want to add things, at this point, I'm going to have to pay extra money. Like, I want to be able to get, you know, a scoreboard up here. But even if I wasn't able to get a scoreboard, if I have a great connection and I got the side scrolling, which I actually could put the score below. So like if I wanted to go that particular route, I guess I could actually do the scoreboard, you know, and the quarter and the time. I could actually put that down below. So I might not visually have it above, but if we have it side scrolling on the bottom, that's pretty much the same type of thing. So you know what? I might end up using this StreamYard. Jurassic Ninja, the first donation on the new platform on StreamYard. Ramily in the building. I like this. And I like the idea that, you know, you guys can get highlighted, you know, instead of just having it on OBS on the regular YouTube, where because the thing is I'm always looking for little things of detail. You know, attention to detail is really big with me. So adding little things, you know, to the green screen, the options. Now, I don't know how much it's going to cost if I go through the high-end version. You know, the StreamYards, they're trying to take money from me. You know what I mean? But if it ends up having a great connection, no lag, it looks good, this ugly mug is in your face, right? I can highlight the chats. I can highlight the super chats and the donations. I can do the scoreboard on the bottom. Give me your feedback down below. Let me know if you guys like this setup. Obviously, if I'm not fucking buffering and having problems like I did with OBS, that shit was a fucking nightmare. I don't know what the fuck was going on with it, but it seemed like I had to restart the streams over and over and over, like 2, 3, 4 times. You know, I did Hell in the Cell, had to do it like 4 times, and then it finally was good for, you know, a couple hours. So maybe it was just too much, you know, too much energy, too much on my computer, just too much stress on my computer using the OBS program. But from everything that I've seen, this one looks pretty fire. I think I'm pretty happy with this. I would like to add a few more, you know, details, you know, to this. But at this point, I like being able to highlight the people that are doing the super chat and the donations, highlight the comments. But I appreciate you guys very, very much. Your boy Jurassic Ninja, $5, my boy. Thank you, man. Appreciate you guys very, very much. But yeah, so this is going good then. And like I said, this is my first time using StreamYard. I've never used it before, but I've had so many issues, obviously, with OBS that it drove me fucking insane. So I said, you know what? Fuck it. Let me try it today. This would be a great chance. I didn't know what to expect. You know, based on what it's like on YouTube. I've seen some people on Facebook that use StreamYard, but they didn't really have anything for the green screen. And having a good presentation, you know, with the green screen behind me is very important. And like I said, I've worked very, very hard to be able to get this channel where it is, you know, on the grind to 20,000 subscribers. Who are the best NFL passing rushing duos going into 2021? Let your boy know. I know we got Aaron Donald and Leonard Floyd. We got J.J. Watt. We got Chandler Jones, right? We got Chase Young, Montez Sweat. Right, we got Von Miller, we got Bradley Chubb, right? We got Myles Garrett and Jadeveon Clowney, we got Cameron Jordan and Davenport, and we got my boy Shaq Barrett and JPP. All right, so there's a lot of guys to go through. So like I said, please be active in the chat, hang out with your boy, ask me questions, right? And let's make every stream the best stream we possibly can make. Because obviously we love talking NFL. I already worked a long fucking day, already on my feet, 8-9 hours. Like here in Oregon, we're going through this heat wave. And at this heat wave, it's going to be probably, I know they got powered by StreamYard. I got to put the end. I got to pay money though. I got to pay money to be able to put my logo over there instead of powered by StreamYard. So, depending on once I have funds and what I can do, but obviously I want to be able to customize it the best way. Now, once I go off the chats, I should be able to get to a point where we can actually see. Let me see here. See, I'm still experimenting with it too. So I know I can see the chats. So one sec here. Let me see. All right. See right here. So we got the Northwest Sports Fanatics here in the corner. Once I go off, the different comments, obviously that's how StreamYard kind of works. And then you can see the little chat and I can change that as it comes up as well. And then obviously powered by StreamYard, I would like to put my logo up there on the top right. But for now, I'm pretty happy with what I see so far. Let's see here. Jurassic Ninja, Cameron Hayward, and who else? Cameron Hayward and TJ Watt from Jurassic Ninja, Ramley. Agree. They can definitely be up there as well. We know Bud Dupree is no longer there. And like I said, I saw PFF's list and they only had 6 duos. So obviously in these duos, Cameron Jordan and Davenport, I wouldn't have them in my top 5. No hating on the Saints or any of their fan base. I just don't know what you're going to get out of Davenport. If it was T-Rex and Cameron Jordan, definitely in the top 5. But with Davenport, a little bit more questions, for me to be desired. I don't really know what you're going to get out of Davenport. I don't know what you're going to get out of Clowney. I don't know what you're going to get out of Watt. Von Miller and Chubb, I don't know if you're going to stay healthy. What I do know is Young and Sweat, right? And Miles, and Shaq Barrett, and JPP. And for the most part, probably Chandler Jones and JJ Watt more than likely, because I think all 3 of those teams definitely can make the playoffs, the Bucks, the Cardinals, and Washington. And if you got a good defensive front, that's definitely going to give you a great, a great push, because it used to be where you could just play, man and zone. And if you had a front 7 or front 8, right, at that point, that's all you needed. You could play cover 2, you could play zone, but now it's like you got to have a good secondary. You got to go into, dime, nickel, prevent, like almost in Madden. You got to be able to have a good secondary. Just having, a strong up front sometimes isn't enough. And you definitely, at this point in the throwing league that we're in the NFL, you got to have fast linebackers. And that's why I ended up winning the goddamn Super Bowl and making my defensive run, because I arguably have the best duo at linebacker. No, we do have the best duo at linebacker with who? Lavonte David, stud, and the best linebacker in football, in my opinion, right now, Devin White. Yeah, we have Darius Leonard. He's right there with him, 1A, 1B. But obviously Devin White's my guy. So if you want to say I'm biased, I'm not. But if you put on the film, Darius Leonard, some of the stat line might favor him. But I think playing in big games, Devin White has shown that he not only is one of the top 2 linebackers in the league today, that he might end up being the best linebacker moving forward. I really think he's got that Ray Lewis, Brian Urlacher, Luke Kuechly mentality. Darius Leonard's got it too for the Colts. They can make a deep run in the playoffs, hopefully with Carson Wentz. But Devin White's already proven it. He's won the Super Bowl. Darius Leonard has not. And I also would throw Fred Warner and Bobby Wagner in that mix. And then hopefully we end up getting the Dallas Cowboys rookie. Hopefully he ends up making a name for himself as well. But I think as far as the top linebackers, you got to have fast linebackers. And is there anyone faster than Devin White and Lavonte David sideline to sideline? I don't think so. I mean, at this point, they've really proven what they can do. Message from a Golden Eagle. Like I was mentioning earlier, 108. Fucking A, man. Yeah, I'm here in Oregon. You're in Washington, right? You're right up there. Juan Gotti, I actually was going to invite you on StreamYard because I actually messaged you on Twitter to see if you wanted to hop in. I don't know if you're by a computer right now and if I can invite you. And I don't know if I'll be able to hear you because I don't have headphones. So you can let me know. If I invite you on here on the stream, can I hear what you're saying without headphones? Because I know they like you to use headphones on here, but I definitely would like some of the fans, if you guys download StreamYard and actually have a pretty good internet connection, I would love to be able to have, fans, interact with with your boy, and so that way we can go through. But it is going to be hot as hell. It was like 90, felt like 100 degrees today. I know it's going to be 103, 104 on Saturday, but for the next 10 days, I mean, we're going to be, it's going to be like in the 90s, 95s. that's a little bit too hot for your boy. I mean, thank God I got AC in the house. Right now I got a little fan on me right here, but everything that I've seen so far from StreamYard, I like. Fred Warner is fast. He definitely flies around. Cameron Hayward, TJ Watt. I love this, man. I love this. I can showcase you guys. Like the new background. Like the side scrolling on the bottom. No Clan Jolly. I love this. I can change anything on the side scrolling on the bottom, which is kind of dope. So I can do that. I can do a scoreboard towards the bottom. Maybe not like how I had it on OBS, but if I'm not having, lag, if I'm not having issues, I want to have a stream that's clean, that looks good. The side scrolling on the bottom is fantastic. I love that. And then showcasing what you guys can do. You guys can still do, the donations through the super chat as well. But I know Juan Gotti, obviously he does his own, Washington football team, kind of streaming for the games and talks Washington football. We follow each other, obviously, on social media. He's the only one that I really know out of all y'all as fans, that at this point that at least use it, because I've seen some of his work, on his YouTube channel. So anytime, Juan Gotti, I messaged you on Twitter just a little while ago, but if you want, I'm not sure if you're by the computer or not, but if you want to hop on, if I invite you, I don't know how it works, you'll have to let me know. And if I can hear you still, but I'd love to be able to have some of the fans join me on the stream so that way we can get a little bit more interaction from the fans. And if you want to know anything Washington football team, like I said, Juan Gotti, he knows it, man. He's a big fan, knows the Washington football team very well. Fred Warner is pretty fast. That boy flies, my guy. That's why I have him in my top 3. I think at this point, he might have surpassed Bobby Wagner, even though Bobby Wagner has been the cream of the crop. He was the Luke Kuechly, from years and years and years. But I think at this point, not to disrespect Bobby Wagner, because a lot of people still think he might be the best linebacker in football. But I think right now with Devin White, Darius Leonard, and Fred Warner, I would rather have them based off age. Bobby Wagner is not an old man, but he's a little bit older, and that's big facts. Davis is going to be fire. I definitely like him. You guys definitely got a good draft pick with that. I think Davis, we didn't really know how good he was going to be, but it seems like the Washington football team has been just money, A+ with their defensive picks in the draft lately. And obviously on the offensive side, adding Curtis Samuel over. So it'll be good because I can actually, give you a little bit of what I'm thinking based off all my research and film study that I've done. But yeah, definitely think Davis. Micah Parsons will be good too. But it'll be interesting to see who ends up being the best linebacker as we go in. Jurassic Ninja, big Rams fan. Fred Warner's pretty fast. That boy flies, my guy. He does. And that's coming from a Ramley fan. That's big facts. Message from a Golden Eagle. What does it say? Poor Winston. Are we talking Jameis? We'll see what happens. You should if your desktop has sound. I don't have anything here that I can hear myself. I mean, I got my speakers and everything, so I don't know how that's going to work out, but hopefully we can maybe link up and we can do that. Yeah, you got to download the app on your phone, Juan Gotti, because anytime if I'm talking, you got to be able to get that message. A message from a Golden Eagle. He's doing some cardio. Let's see here. Juan Gotti. Davis or Micah Parsons? I mean, right now, Davis, on your team, on the Washington football team, is surrounded by more talent. So for him to be able to succeed quicker wouldn't surprise me. And he's the underdog. Everyone is talking about Micah Parsons, but we don't know about Van Der Esch. We don't know about, DeMarcus Lawrence. We don't know what's going to happen. We assume Micah Parsons has to be the Devin White of that team for them to be anywhere in the conversation of in the playoff hunt, because Washington football team has got the best defense. Dallas has got the best offense with Dak if they stay healthy. The Giants got the most well-rounded team besides the Washington football team on offense and defense, but they got Danny Dimes. I like Ryan Fitzmagic more, but Danny Dimes is unpredictable. We don't know what we're going to get, but they've made improvements. Saquon is back. Lots of new people coming in like Kadarius Toney from Florida. So it'll be interesting to see if they fail or they succeed, win the division or get a wild card. And then the Eagles. With Philly, I almost feel like they're on the back end. They're maybe the 3rd or 4th best team in the division. They could still make the playoffs, but if Carson Wentz plays 70% of the snaps, they're going to end up getting 3 first-rounders. So actually having a bad year might make sense. Take 1 step backwards to go 10 steps forward. And then Philly can get back on track. But, Jalen Hurts, I feel, is the guy. They got Devontae Smith, the Heisman winner. All right, so they got him. but they still have a lot of pieces like Big Play Slay's getting older. Fletcher Cox is getting older. Brandon Brooks, can you stay healthy? Lane Johnson, can you stay healthy? Kelsey at center, can you stay healthy? Andre Dillard, can you stay healthy? I don't know. Miles Sanders, can you stay healthy? And then you got to be able to get more options. I know Dallas Goedert's great, but obviously was so bad it hurt Zach Ertz, probably not going to be there. It's going to be interesting to see where it goes. So I think right now, Micah Parsons is kind of the front runner, just like Najee Harris, obviously, at running back on the offensive side, as well as Trevor Lawrence. Those got to be the guys that are the front runners to win for the offensive rookie of the year, right? Trevor Lawrence and Najee Harris. He's just going to get a lot of opportunities, even though the defensive line, lost Bud Dupree. Offensive line still needs a whole lot of work. But with Davis, though, on Washington, he's going to get coached up well with all those guys, Chase Young, and that amazing defensive front. And as far as defensive lines are concerned, I think Washington and Tampa Bay have the best defensive line fronts in the NFL, and we're going to really prove it this season. And it wouldn't surprise me if Chase Young gets on the Madden cover, if Chase Young ends up getting the sack record, if Chase Young ends up breaking a lot of records. He's one guy I definitely would want on my football team, and that's big facts. Dylan in the building. Steelers in the building. Yo, what to do? Jurassic Ninja would love to talk football with you. Ramily, if you guys have, like I said, if you guys have StreamYard, let me know. And like I said, if I can invite you on here, I don't know exactly how everything works, but I definitely would love to have the fans on here to make it more of an interactive show. I'm going to have more hosts, and co-hosts with me, which is going to be fantastic. You're going to be see my boy, Joe Dog, Joey Gomez. Some of you guys met him over the weekend when I did a video. He'll be on from time to time as a part-time co-host. You're going to see my boy Swaggy P, Colts fan. So we got a Chargers fan, a Colts fan, a Cowboys fan, and a few others that I'm friends with that I would like to be able to entertain the idea of, watching the games with me. But also, I want to be able to interact with you guys too. So let me know, Jurassic Ninja, if you guys got StreamYard and you guys want to hang out with your boy, let me know. Let's see, Juan Gotti. Let's see what you say here. He said, sorry, I don't be seeing Twitter messages because I don't have the app. You got to download the app, my guy. You want to be on all the news. You want to be on all the news, right? For NFL and anything Washington or NFL related. That's my favorite app. That's the thing that I'm scrolling through on my phone. It doesn't cost you any money. And like I said, then you can see my messages, man. Because like I said, I hit you up first out of anybody, because I know that you use StreamYard, my guy. So download that, and so maybe we can link up. All you have to do is put the link in the chat. Whoever wants to join can click it, and then you'll add them in after the name pops up. Oh, shit. Like that, huh? Like that, huh? Okay. Message from Golden Eagle. Orion, LOL. Nah, you're right, bro. Hey, I want to be able to give you guys love. Right. I want to give the Eagles love. Like, hey, you guys are the best team in the division. But remember, I have no bias. I call it right down the fucking middle. Right. I want the teams to do good. I hate seeing teams like the Detroit Lions fucking struggle year in and year out. My Tampa Bay Bucks with Jameis was like that. So if anyone wants teams to get back to success, it's me. I care about all 32 teams. I want all the teams to be good, but the reality is some teams fucking suck. Some teams are fucking cursed. Barry Sanders, Megatron, they did them dirty. But right now I feel that maybe the Eagles are the fourth best team in the NFC East. I'm not saying that they can't get past the Giants, Washington, or Dallas. If anyone can move up and down, right, in the division, it's definitely in the NFC East. In the NFC South, it's the Buccaneers and pretty much everyone else. Saints, Panthers, Falcons, they'll be battling, but the Bucs should have it, returning Brady and all 22 starters and the coaching staff with Bruce Arians, Todd Bowles, and Byron Leftwich, right? In the North, if Packers keep Aaron Rodgers, it's their division. Then you got the Vikings and the Bears with Justin Fields and Kirk Cousins battling it out, and we got Detroit at the bottom. No playoffs, no hope. MCDC, no hope for Dan Campbell, all right? And then if you go to the NFC West, who knows? I think the Niners can make the playoffs. I think they have an easy schedule. I think that they can get in. But the Rams and the Ramily should be the best team in the division. But you also have Dangerous. Who knows what's going to happen there? Every time we count them out, they win 9 or 10 games and get in. And then the Cardinals, I feel, can make the playoffs this year, adding some key pieces. But you got Budda Baker, Chandler Jones. Who? Chandler Jones, J.J. Swat. But also on the flip side, bringing in a guy like A.J. Green might be able to help them out, as well as solidifying the running back position. I know you got James Atemaneta, but Chase Edmonds is the one I'm really looking out to break out this season. And obviously Kyler getting better and better and better. Thoughts on Landon Dickerson from Alabama? I like him. Like I said, anyone that's from Alabama, I absolutely love. You know what I mean? They have a lot of potential. I mean, the only bust that we've seen in quite a few years is what? Trent Richardson. So Trent Richardson is pretty much the only one that's busted in quite some time. So I definitely think that there's an opportunity for Landon Dickerson to be a stud in this league. But again, offensive line is one of the hardest positions to break into. Not everyone can be a Quentin Nelson. Not everyone can be a Penei Sewell, but I'm definitely rooting for him. You got Ryan Kerrigan. I did see that. And when you get Ryan Kerrigan, he was my favorite Washington football team member for a long time. Getting all the sack lunches. Yum, 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 yum. He definitely was active, but he's getting older. And now if you look at the team with Sweat and Chase Young and all the pieces that they have, to let a guy like that go, it's understandable. You're not going to pay money for someone that's going to be on the bench backing up some of these other guys that they have on that front four that are a little bit younger, a little bit more athletic, that are going to get more production. But I've always liked Ryan Kerrigan. I don't know what you're going to get out of him, but hopefully you get some type of production from Ryan Kerrigan and when he plays the former team of the Washington football team. Jurassic Ninja is up next. Man, I love this, how it just pops up on the screen like this. This is great. Rams are talking about how Jacob Harris, our rookie tight end, is looking like Megatron 2.0. Now, that's big words, for as far as a Megatron 2.0. I think right now, I know with Matthew Stafford in the film and the articles that I've watched, Sean, Coach McVay, he's like, this motherfucker is good. Well, no shit. It's Matthew Stafford. So I would be really shocked if anyone wins the division over the Rams. But to be honest, it's possible. I don't see the Cardinals doing it, but I definitely could see the San Francisco 49ers, believe it or not, based off the coaching with Kyle Shanahan and the easy schedule. Kyler has to prove that he can win late, right? Seattle's good with Dangerous, so we know what we're going to get there. But you lost a lot of, key pieces. John Johnson, Troy Hill. There's a lot of key piece Brockers. So your boy knows I ain't fucking stupid. I know the lineup. So obviously, you have good pieces, at the quarterback with Stafford, Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods. You got some of those guys there. But losing some pieces at running back, losing those key guys on defense, and losing the D coordinator going to Seattle. So they're going to pick up on some of those tendencies. So I'm really interested to see what the defense is going to look like. Yeah, you got Aaron Donald. Yeah, you got Jalen Ramsey. You got Stafford, so that should increase some of the win total. But losing those key pieces like Troy Hill, John Johnson, Brockers, that's big. That's like three big studs, besides Aaron Donald that flew around and made plays. So I'm hoping that it works out. I haven't seen too much of Jacob Harris, but I imagine as we get closer and closer to preseason, I'm going to be looking more and more and more. Let's see here. Brute Saint. I see you finally using StreamYard, best streaming site in my opinion. Yeah, man. Like I said, I like the side scrolling. I can bring the comments up. I know I have to pay more for like the premium edition. So I can maybe change the powered by StreamYard in the corner and put my logo. But once I, exit out, of like a comment, you can see Northwest Sports Fanatics there in the bottom left. But I just love that it's got the side scrolling on the bottom. It looks like as far as the connectivity, the visually, it looks good. It sounds like you guys think I sound good. I look good. This ugly mug is, not, lagging at all. So that's good. So I just want to be able to interact with you guys and not have issues. And when I was using fucking OBS, when I moved here, I don't know if it was just stressing my computer out so much where I just fucking couldn't get a connectivity. Like I have 200 up, 200 down. So what the fuck is the problem? I was doing Wi-Fi, I was, changing the bit rate, and it was just fucking up so much. And I was just getting so goddamn pissed. So I was like, all right, today I'm going to experiment with StreamYard, see what I can do, see what options it has, see if it allows you guys to still do donations and everything. And I think I'm going to do this. I think I'm going to keep StreamYard more than likely, and I'm going to use it because if I don't have any issues with connectivity, it doesn't have necessarily a side-scrolling option for me on OBS. Like I can configure it in, but it's not as easy as it is on StreamYard. So even though it's a newer streaming service, I kind of like it. And I like the fact that I can highlight your guys' questions and topics. So everyone, because you know how I individually like to acknowledge everyone. So this is perfect for me because I'm not going to ignore y'all. I love to be able to vibe with you guys, and that's why you guys fuck with me compared to some of the other streamers that are out there. I got the passion, I got the voice, I got the knowledge, but to interact with each and every one of you, you don't get that on some of these other YouTubers. They ignore, they just, do their favorites and whatnot, and I love to be able to vibe with you guys. And if I can invite some of y'all to join me on here on StreamYard, I'm totally down. So if you guys have StreamYard or download it on your computer and you want to be a guest and pop up on the screen with me, and so we can, vibe. I don't know if I'm going to be able to hear you, though. I guess I have to get maybe headphones. I'm not really sure how that's going to work. Hopefully, I'll still be able to hear you on here, but I would love to be able to have some of the fan base on here so that way that we could do that. But Brute Saint, absolutely my guy, my dude. Let's see here. Message from a Golden Eagle. NFC East shares its division title every year. This year, it's going to be the stinking Giants. I wouldn't count out the Washington football team. As we know, in the NFC East, almost every year, it's a different team that switches from being the top dog. But we can't really say for sure it's going to be the Giants. NFL Network will tell you that, right? Maybe Good Morning Football will tell you that. Skip and Shannon will tell you that. But you got to be able to make your own opinions, because we don't know if Danny Dimes can make it throughout the season. Is he the guy? We don't know. He's got a lot of weapons on offense. Can Saquon stay healthy? We don't know. I like Joe Judge a lot, the head coach. Right? Defense has improved dramatically, but I wouldn't just automatically give it to the Giants. I mean, the Giants seem like they're the most well-rounded besides Danny Dimes. And I would probably put Washington football team right there, because if I had to choose Danny Dimes or Ryan Fitzmagic, even though he's up and down, I'm going to go with Fitzmagic. He's never been to the playoffs. He can go to the playoffs with this team. The defense gets you to the playoffs. Tampa Bay. Defense can get you deep into the playoffs and make a run, win the division. Even if you don't win the division, you got to have a defense now. It's a passing league. It's not the same running league as it was years back. So the Giants still could win, right? Dallas Cowboys could still get in. I mean, they got Dak, but we don't know if he can stay healthy. Danny Dimes, we don't know if he can stay healthy. But I like well-rounded teams, and I think Washington and the Giants right now, today, have the most well-rounded teams. Dallas got a great offense on paper, but they always kind of shit the bed, at some point, or someone gets injured. And I don't know if Micah Parsons alone with DeMarcus Lawrence and a few others and Van Der Esch are going to be good enough to compete with the Giants, the Eagles, and obviously the Washington football team. We're going to have to see. We're going to have to see. Seth Werner, my dude. Yo, what up, Ryan? My Browns up here. Yes, like I said, I'm going to go over some of this list. I'll obviously keep commenting, you guys. And like I said, I want to be able to interact with you guys. So the more that you guys can interact with me, the more that I can go over different topics in the side scrolling on the bottom. That might be the new scoreboard as we go into the 2021 season, as well as highlighting each of your comments. And like I said, this is my very first time using StreamYard. From what I can see, green screen looks good. I look good. The voice, from what I've been getting feedback from you guys, it sounds good. No lagging. So I think we found a winner, man. I'm fucking stoked. But yeah, so the duos on PFF, and I'll go over them right now. All right, so they got J.J. Swatt and Chandler Jones. Who? Chandler Jones. Young and Montez Sweat, right? Von Miller and Bradley Chubb. Myles Garrett, Jadeveon Clowney, your Browns, right? Cameron Jordan and Davenport, and then JPP and Shaq Barrett. So the thing is with me, with a top 5 list, Seth Werner, your Browns are great. They're the second best team in the AFC, to me personally, better than the Bills. They definitely... I'm not sold on Baker Mayfield through and through, but he did get hot at the right time. You got the best duo at running back with Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. Odell will be back, so hopefully he can stay healthy. Him and Jarvis Landry can be a little bit more of an impact, and you got Hollywood there too, so we'll see what he can do. And Njoku doesn't want to be there, but now they're a caliber team that might be, a Super Bowl caliber team. Maybe he'll change his tone. But with Jadeveon Clowney, going from like no sacks, 3 sacks in the last couple years, he's not really a sack machine. Myles Garrett, though, could get you 15 or 20 by himself. I don't know what we're going to get out of Jadeveon Clowney. I hope that we get 5 or more, but we might get 5 or less. He hasn't really been the same player that knocked the Michigan Wolverine running back helmet off and has fucking decapitated him, picked up the football off the fumble, that famous highlight. When he was on the Houston Texans, he was a, highlight king. He's not the same player anymore. Myles Garrett arguably is the best defensive player in the league right now, not named Aaron Donald and a few other guys that are really, coveting for that top spot as being the dude, the man. There's a lot of guys that are in the NFL that are kind of going for that top spot in the NFL, whether you be a pass rusher, a D tackle, a D end, a linebacker. Devin White's great, right? Jadeveon Clowney used to be great. Myles Garrett's the new guy now. Aaron Donald's great. And then we got a lot of these other corners and safeties and other positions. But the Browns, I'm not sure if I would put that duo in my top 5, because I can't guarantee Clowney's going to get over 5 sacks. He hasn't really proven that he can do that. But with this team and the Myles Garrett doubles, it's definitely possible that he can have a resurgent season, just like J.J. Watt and Chandler Jones, depending on where they go. I'm very excited to see what the Browns can do. And if you really think about it, the Browns are the biggest threat to Kansas City. going to the AFC Championship game or the Super Bowl, in my personal opinion. Going at this point, the Browns, they got definitely offense and defense, right? They got everything that you would want. The Bills don't have a running back. Kansas City still is the best team in the AFC. And then you got Tampa Bay in the NFC. Yeah, there's going to be other teams like the Rams, the Packers if Rodgers is there. But at this point on paper, it's the Chiefs and the Bucks. We are the two best teams in football. It wouldn't surprise me if we end up having a rematch in the Super Bowl. Like I said, I've gotten the Super Bowl right in the last 20 years. So if you want to bet money, listen to your boy. I even got the slick Nick Foles over the Patriots when I said they would win big by 9 or 10 and they won. And a lot of y'all have followed me since then. So your boy knows. I got a little bit of that ESP. Seth Werner, the Brownies in the building. What to do? Jurassic Ninja Harris is 6'5" and with a 6 foot, 9.5 inch wingspan, weighs 215 and has a 40.5 inch vertical. The boy is a tank. Yeah, we will see, man. We will see. It's all about productivity, coaching. I just worry right now, what things are going to look like, once you end up playing the Bears week 1. You're going to have a pretty good defense. I would like for Fields to get out there week 1, but it'll probably be Andy Dalton. But it'll really give you a gauge, on what you're going to get from the offense with Stafford going against a pretty good defense in Chicago. And Chicago could be a sleeper team that makes the playoffs this season. Don't be surprised, especially if Justin Fields gets on the field, that they end up making some type of playoffs. And that's facts. Brute Saint in the building, my dude. Okay. He said, fire. Brute Saint. Best thing, if your internet goes out, the stream is still live. So once your internet is back, you can join it again instead of starting another stream. Okay, yeah. If you're familiar with StreamYard, let me know in the comment section. This is the first time that I've used it. So anything that you can let me know about StreamYard, if you've seen other YouTubers or other people that use it, I'm just kind of going through the different options that I see. But it looks like it's not as stressful on my computer. No lag. It looks like the picture is good. It sounds like you guys say the audio is good. Definitely love the side scrolling on the bottom, as well as being able to highlight your guys' comments right there. That's awesome. Brute Saint. Good to know, man. So you good, bro. 100. I feel you. Thank you, man. Appreciate you. So what would be a cool idea during the season for predictions? Invite fans of the teams you are predicting to hear their thoughts. You know who to go to for the Saints. Hey, if you want to be on the show, like I said, this is not, for shits and giggles. You know what I mean? I want to be able to interact with the fan base on a whole nother level. I mean, this is year 5 for me on YouTube, year 9 for the dream, trying to get over that 20,000 subscriber, hump, going from 3.4 million views to about 4 million to 5 million. I want to be able to ramp it up. Hopefully that YouTube will promote the channel, I'm hoping, so that way we can do that. But to be able to interact with the fans and have you guys on here with me would be awesome. So if I can have one fan on here with me, 2, 3, and we can have 4 of us all talking about our teams, I think that the other fans, not only would they be jealous and want to be a part of it, but then it'll make us closer, obviously, as a Fanatic family, where we can end up, going over our opinions. I'm not biased, and I'll call it how I see it. And then it'll give you more of a reason to hang out with the Northwest Sports Fanatics and the Fanatic family. That's a great idea, Brute Saint. And if you want to hop on, definitely once I can go through the different options, I'll do that. He said, I wouldn't put Davenport and Jordan as a top 5 pass rushing duo. The problem is Davenport can't stay healthy to save his life. Exactly what I said at the beginning of the stream. Now, if it was T-Rex and Cameron Jordan, you could argue that might be number 1. You could argue with that is just as good as J.J. Watt and Chandler Jones, Young and Sweat, or even Shaq Barrett and JPP. Like, you literally could have that duo based on what we saw with T-Rex, Trey Hendrickson, what he did last season. And if we can get a healthy Cameron Jordan, I mean, that might be number 1 or number 2 in the league. And that's big facts. But yeah, Davenport, Sheldon Rankins, there's been a lot of guys that just seem like they couldn't stay healthy. I definitely would agree with that. My guy. I love it, man. So, you know what I'm doing, man. I'm going through all the different options and whatnot. But he said, but maybe this season will be different. We will see. We will see. Seth Werner, Browns fan. Garrett was on track for Defensive Player of the Year before COVID. Absolutely. And I think if there's one guy that could end up winning, the sack championship, I definitely think it's Myles Garrett. He's one of those guys that could end up breaking Michael Strahan's record of the 22.5. Myles Garrett is a stud. And like I said, having Jadeveon Clowney might open up, instead of him being double team and triple team every week like Aaron Donald. Maybe we can get a few more sack lunches. Yum, 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 yum. For your boy, Myles Garrett. And I'm really excited to be able to see what the Browns do. I really want them to make the AFC Championship game. I mean, I want I want to see teams that struggle. I know the Bills are on the cusp too, and everyone's going to be gunning for Kansas City. Everyone's going to be gunning for Tampa Bay. But if I can get the Browns or the Bills back in the AFC Championship, that would be great. But one kind of sleeper team I'm rooting for is the Chargers. I love Justin Herbert. I love what the Chargers are doing. They're still a few pieces away, in my opinion, to be AFC Championship game worthy. But depending on the development of Justin Herbert, Eckler, Keenan Allen, if Derwin James can stay healthy, as well as Asante Samuel Jr., Rashawn Slater, obviously protecting the blind side for Justin Herbert. We'll see. But that could be a sleeper team that could go a little bit further this season than people anticipate. Same thing with the Miami Dolphins in the AFC. And on the NFC side, I feel it's going to be the Giants and the San Francisco 49ers. The Niners, I feel pretty confident. Chargers, I feel confident. The Dolphins and the Giants are really going to have to show us that Tua and Danny Dimes are it. If they are the it guys, they'll make the playoffs this season. If they don't, then they might not be the guy, for that particular franchise. ESL23. Someone new to the channel? Not sure if I'm familiar with you, my guy, but he says, what about the Raiders? Raiders got a lot of issues. You know what I mean? The defense has a lot of holes. Offensive line could be a little bit better. They have weapons, but Carr played well, but you don't have Nelson Aguilar there anymore. So he went to, the Patriots. So Darren Waller's a stud. Raiders. Love him. Top 5 tight end. Carr's a stud. He's starting to get a little bit more recognition. He played some pretty good football, but I just don't know with Mayock and Gruden personally. They went Cleveland Farrell over Devin White. And imagine if Devin White was on the Raiders, where they would be right now. And Jonathan Abram on the safety position, he gets banged up pretty regularly, and he's a stud. And you got Trayvon Moehrig, TCU safety. I mean, you guys went for so many safeties in this draft. It's like I almost wonder what the Raiders are doing. I think the Raiders have a shot to make the playoffs within the first 3 years in Vegas. They didn't make it last year. I don't think they're going to make it this year. But depending on what you guys do in free agency this year, and obviously the draft, the third year might be the year that you can compete a little bit with Denver if they don't get Aaron Rodgers, right? Or the Chargers, because they're going to keep getting better and better. But the Raiders still have a long ways to go, and you lost a key piece in Nelson Aguilar. That was one of the comeback, good stories of the NFL from last season. But we'll see. We will see. Brute Saint, Seth Warner, that dude is a beast, no question. Absolutely. Let's see here. Brute Saint, another great thing. If your internet is good enough, you can share your screen if you want to see the statistics that you're reading. Yeah, I got 200 up, 200 down. So I don't know. I don't really know how to use all the different options just yet. But yeah, if I want to be able to go through those other options, I know it can bring up like video or bring up little other things on there. Said bring up any news on the show. Yeah, definitely, man. I want to be able to do it. I definitely want to be able to do it. I hate to say it, but when it comes to the Bucks, 9 times out of 10, they're under a best category. It's true. I mean, look, you got Brady, you know what I mean? You got, AB, right? You got Mike Evans, you got Godwin. So that's definitely one of the best wide receiving cores. You got, Gronk, right? OJ Howard and Cameron Brate. That's another one of the best. Offensive lines is really starting to come along with Jensen and Tristan Wirfs. I mean, if you actually look at our offensive line, I think we're going to have a top 10 offensive line this season. Saints is better. They have a top 5 offensive line, but we're coming. And as far as the defense, we're getting better and better and better. But you got to think, I went through a lot of shit. I went through a lot of heartache and a lot of bullshit with Jameis. So it feels kind of good, at this point. He said in any position. I feel you. And you know what I mean? With all the struggles that I've had, you got to think, I didn't make the playoffs since Jeff Garcia. So after Jeff Garcia, at that point, there was no playoffs for me. There was absolutely no playoffs for me at all. I mean, the season was over, pretty much around like October. So it definitely was, frustrating to be able to, you want to be able to get the best out of your guys. You don't want your season to be over in October, your team to be like 2-4 and you have no chance for the playoffs. But after Jeff Garcia, in 2007, that's pretty much what it was. There wasn't a whole lot of hope. You had Josh Freeman for like a year when he came in as a rookie, but we went 10-6, but we didn't make the playoffs. But there hasn't really been a lot of bright spots, with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So everything kind of fell into place. But honestly, for me, it was more about the defense, the offensive line, and the coaching. Of course, Brady and Gronk and AB and Evans and Godwin, they're going to get the love. But no one really gives the credit where, it needs to be given in the O-line and the defense and the secondary. They had 32 out of 32 for the Gravediggers for the secondary going into last season. And by the season when it ended, we had a top 10 secondary overall. young. No one's getting any max contracts, but it really worked out for our benefit because if you can end up having a quarterback where you don't have to pay too much money, in our case, we have Brady, so sometimes you got to dish out that money. But like with Russell Wilson back in the day, if you're on your rookie deal and you have a great supporting cast, Marshawn Lynch, Legion of Boom, and you can get those pieces to work together before the quarterback has to get paid, then you can make a little bit of a Super Bowl run, and then you just got to hope that you can get to 1 or 2 and at least win one, which Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks and the 12th man did, and that's big facts. So my top 5, who are the best NFL pass rushing duos going into 2021 with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can, either on here, patreon.com/NWSF or the GoFundMe. And if they're looking for merch, Northwest Sports Fanatic merch, link is below every video on the YouTube page. Follow me, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram at NW Sports Fanatics. Brute Saint, big facts, man. You know it. And it's one of those things that, you guys had your window, but I truly feel, you're not going to hear any other fan of the NFC South team, a Bucs fan, a Panthers fan, a Falcon fan. They're going to say, fuck the Saints. We don't care about them. But for me, I think once you get past Jameis, you keep Taysom Hill, you don't have him as your QB, and you get your next guy, whether it be a Kirk Cousins or Ryan Tannehill kind of quarterback. That's when you guys are going to take off again, and you guys will be able to be in the playoff mix, right? Or if you guys go for a rookie. But based on what you guys have right now, I just don't know if that's going to be the long-term answer. And you already know, and Saints fans already know it. What you guys have right now in place with the holes on defense, right? You still got AK-41. You got a great line led by, Ramczyk, which is great. You got Michael Thomas, but you need way more depth at wide receiver, right? You need more depth at tight end. We'll see what happens after the post-Jared Cook era, right? Should be better, I would assume, because he fumbled a lot. Defense, losing T-Rex, Sheldon Rankins, Jenkins on the back end. You still got Demario Davis, a.k.a. the glue, which I love, right? You still got Cameron Jordan. You still got Lattimore. He'll be, up for a contract at some point, but it'll be interesting to see where they go. Brute Saint, we need a quarterback soon while we got our young blood. That simple. Yeah. And, I want the Saints to be competitive because you want that to be a rivalry. You want the rivalry to be good. You want to be able to have those battles. I mean, I hated losing 38-3. And when we played week 1, and Brady's first game and you guys beat us, I figured we would probably, either win by 10 or lose by 10, kind of in that general range. I didn't think it was going to be that much of a blowout. But when you're on the road and you're playing in the dome, regardless if there's fans or not, harsh place to play. And then when we went home, I was like, all right, we should be able to at least get a rematch and get you guys back for week 1. And then you guys smacked us around with the 38-3. But then when it went to the playoffs, after we ended up losing to the Chiefs and went on that bye, right? That was the only game that we got blown out all season. We lost the Rams by 3, Chiefs by 3, Bears by 3, Saints, by around 10 or so, a little bit over 10 in that first week. And then obviously the 38-3 was embarrassing. But after that, we really got on fire. We had an easy schedule in December, but we really started clicking in that Detroit game that was on that Saturday where we put up 50, 60, 70 points, and we never really looked back. But not only that, we got healthier. The offensive line started to beast out, as well as the secondary. We knew what we were going to get from Levante David and Devin White, but then you were getting Vita Vea back, which was huge. Antoine Winfield Jr. was great all season, as well as Tristan Wirfs. So if you look at what we did in the last couple drafts, that was really the big reason why we took it to the next level. Who are the best NFL pass rushing duos going into 2021 with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics? Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can, either on here, patreon.com/NWSF or the GoFundMe. And if you're looking for merch, Northwest Sports Fanatic merch, link is below every video on the YouTube page. Follow me, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram at NW Sports Fanatics. So as I look at the list, Garrett and Clowney, they're not in my top 5. Miller and Chubb, I don't know if I would put them in my top 5. Jordan and Davenport, I'm not sure if that's a top 5, but I can definitely go with my top 3. And I think at this point, I could definitely be biased and just be like, yeah, Shaq Barrett and JPP is number 1. But I think I would probably go Chase Young and Montez Sweat 1. Then I would go J.J. Watt, Chandler Jones 2. And then I would go Shaq Barrett, JPP 3. Because I definitely think, even though that in most circles, they're going to be like, hey, Chase Young is the dude, right? Montez Sweat could end up getting you 10 sack lunches or more. J.J. Watt still has potential to get 5 or 10. Chandler Jones could get 10 to 20, right? Shaq Barrett and JPP might be getting around that 8 to 12 range each with upside, with maybe Shaq Barrett, in that 13 to 18 range, JPP more in that 8 to 12 range. But I think there's less question marks with Sweat and Watt. I mean, you look at them and you're like, okay, compared to Clowney, Chubb, Davenport, but overall, Shaq Barrett and JPP, I don't think there's any questions. Anyone that is a fan of the game that watched Tampa Bay, I mean, there is no questions about Shaq Barrett if he can do it. And if you remember, he was on Denver. So Denver probably is hoping and probably was like, damn, we wish we still had Shaq Barrett still on Denver. But that was a big piece coming over. It almost was like an impact of a Simeon Rice back, when I had John Gruden on that run. Adding Simeon Rice to Warren Sapp and Derek Brooks and John Lynch and Rondé Barber, who should be in the Hall of Fame, by the way, hopefully sooner than later. But having those guys, I don't know if you're ever going to have 5 Hall of Fame worthy guys. Simeon's probably not going to get in, even though he probably deserves borderline status. Sapp is in, Brooks is in, Lynch is in. Rondé definitely should be in. Simeon, borderline. And then you got Alstott on the opposite side with a bunch of other decent, good players like Keyshawn and Keenan McCardell, Joe Juravicius, Brad Johnson. They did their thing. But Mike Alstott, really the only true Hall of Famer on the offensive side of the ball. But yeah, J.J. Watt, Chandler Jones. Chase Young is going to be phenomenal this season. I can't wait to see what he can do. Montez Sweat, and then Shaq Barrett and JPP. But like I said, anyone that wants to be able to hop on with the StreamYard with your boy Brute Saint, if you want to do it, sounds like maybe a few others, from some other fan bases. And once I get familiar on how to use this particular, format with StreamYard, as long as there's no lag, as long as everything is smooth and it works good and you guys enjoy it, then this will be maybe the new, streaming service that I end up, using, for the channel going into 2021. But I want to incorporate, more of the fans on the channel with me. So that way we can interact with some of the other fans on there. So if you have StreamYard or you're interested in wanting to join, I don't know if I have to have headphones or not. Brute Saint and Juan Gotti, he's a Washington football fan. Obviously, Brute Saint, you're a Saints fan. So, any type of information that you guys know, let your boy know. And if you want to be able to hop on, I'm not opposed to it. I want to be able to grow the channel and be able to have that link, that with all the fan bases, not just the Saints, right? The Panthers, the Falcons, and, the Buccaneer fans in the NFC South, but everyone that's in the NFL, with all the different fan bases across the globe. And like I said, from what I can see with the green screen, it looks good. It just seems like the audio and the video has been good throughout this pretty much hour, StreamYard stream that I've done. So I'm definitely excited about that. Any other questions or comments or anything that you want to end up doing, make sure you hop on and let me know. And like I said, this will be something new for some of the fans. I know this mug is a little bit closer than normal. Usually I'm a little bit farther back, but you can still see the green screen. I like the side scrolling. I like the option that I can end up putting, the comments there right in front of everyone. And then, like I said, I'm going to, maybe do a little bit of research. And then depending on what the premium service costs, because obviously I'm trying to grind, I'm trying to end up being a YouTuber full-time at some point. I still got a full-time job. So if I'm doing full-time work in a warehouse, and then I'm doing this, and then they want me to pay for this streaming service, I need to be able to, end up getting donations, and I end up having to make it be worth it. And I know in the NFL season, I'm going to end up putting up the best live streams, the best reaction videos. We're going to have the best entertainment, and this is year 5 on YouTube, so it's going to be fantastic. But this is the first stream on StreamYard. I can honestly say I'm pleasantly surprised. I thought maybe there would be some lagging issues. There hasn't been. Video's good. Options are cool. Very easy to use. So this might be something that I end up using in the future. If you guys have any comments, anything that you want to talk about, comment below. Because like I said, using a new platform, obviously the more comments, the more that I can put them up on the screen, the more options that I can go over and test different buttons out on the StreamYard. But J.J. Watt, Chandler Jones, Montez Sweat, Chase Young, and Shaq Barrett and JPP. Those got to be the top 3 duos, in my opinion. And then at that point, Myles Garrett and Clowney. Myles Garrett, is obviously a pass rushing stud. I don't know what you're going to get out of Clowney. Probably under 5 sack lunches. Miller and Chubb, when they're healthy, could be on the list. But I don't know if you're going to be able to get a healthy Von Miller or Bradley Chubb. And obviously, if Aaron Rodgers comes over, Bradley Chubb will probably be gone with that part of the deal. And then Cameron Jordan and Davenport. Davenport gets injured a little bit too much. And obviously, we talked about that as well. Brute Saint and some of the Saints fans that are in the room. So at that point, I think if it was T-Rex, like I mentioned before, then you definitely got a top 1, top 2, top 3 option. But at this point, Davenport is unproven. I don't know what you're going to get from him. Clowney, used to be proven, but I don't think that you're going to get 10 sack lunches from him. So I think overall, if you're looking at duos with no flaws, Shaq Barrett, JPP number 3, right? JJ Watt, Chandler Jones 2, with a chance to be able to get to number 1, and then Chase Young and Montez Sweat at number 1 as well. Let's see, Jamar Games in the building. What to do, man? What to do? How are you, my guy? Brute saying, we'll give a friendly warning. Be careful who you share the link to, because trolls can easily join the panel and porn bomb you, or worse, trace your IP address. It's free to use the site after all. Oh, okay. Good news. That's definitely good. Well, obviously, I'm not going to just have anybody that I'm sharing the link to. It's only going to be, people that were, mods, like like moderators. I'm only going to have like Juan Gotti or you, Brute saying it would only be a few people. But that's definitely good to know. I'm not going to just let anybody, come in onto the stream. Obviously, this is, very important to me. I mean, it's my dream, it's my grind, it's my hustle. I've already put over 100,000 hours on the show. With all the reading and the film study, over 100,000 hours put in, over 1,100 videos to choose from, live streams, reaction videos, original content. You're going to end up getting some amazing reaction videos this season. You're also going to be able to get the best live streams. And like I said, with this side scrolling, I might not be able to have the scoreboard above unless I can pay with the premium site. But using StreamYard, man, I kind of fucking like this shit. I'm kind of liking it. I love everything that I've seen for it so far. And message from a Golden Eagle. Hey, I want to be able to get coverage from a lot of the different teams. So if I can't have someone in the building here with me, maybe, I can have someone like message from a Golden Eagle. We can talk Eagles, and then we can also maybe have an NFC East little, thing, or an NFC South. So it could be like me, Brute Saint, you for the Saints. And then maybe we can get, a Panthers fan and a Falcons fan. I know there's Falcons fans out there, but I would only do it for people that I trust. And like I said, we want to make sure that we're putting on a good stream together. Because like I said, this is everything. This is everything, for me, with all the love and the passion and the dedication and everything that that I've been pretty much doing. Steezy47, he quit. So obviously I got a new co-host. I got 3 other people that I'm going to be working with. So I got my boy Swaggy P, who's a Colts fan. He'll be in the building part-time throughout the season. I got my boy Joey Gomez, Chargers fan, who will be a co-host with me from time to time during the regular season. And then I got my boy Zach, my girlfriend's stepbrother, who's a Cowboys fan. So I'm going to have at least 3 people join me from time to time during the NFL season. But like I said, I might have a few more. I got a couple Seahawk fans, buddies of mine. So it just depends on kind of how I'm feeling. And if you want to come in and you live here, obviously in my hometown state of Oregon, and you want to, hop on the mic and we want to be able to be in the studio and vibe with the fans. But like I said, it's one of those things that, you can't, on YouTube, if you're a duo or a trio or whatever you are, you can't be someone that wants to record whenever you want. It just doesn't work like that. You can't just show up whenever you want. You know what I mean? You can't just record whenever you want. If you're trying to grow and build a foundation and have a connection with the fans and grow the channel from, wherever you're at and where you're wanting to go. Like I'm trying to go from, 20,000 to 30,000 to 40 to 50. I'm trying to go, to 100,000. I know sometimes people might think that's crazy, but I think I can get there. Over time. I think I can end up getting there over time. I mean, until I'm dead, until it kills me. You know what I mean? But the goal is to get to that 100,000, to get obviously the YouTube award, and to get that recognition, but also to go from 3.4 million views to 5 million views to 10 million views. I know there's other YouTubers out there that are, they're getting promotion and they're getting a more push from YouTube, but that's okay. I'm on my own journey. So I don't worry about what other people are doing. I focus on what I'm doing. And as long as I'm working hard, I got 2 jobs. I mean, there's a lot of people that can't even do fucking YouTube. I got a full-time job and I'm doing YouTube full-time. So, I mean, and I'm reading and I'm doing film study, 4 to 6 hours a day. So there's a lot of people that don't have my dedication. And then I'm going to be doing reaction videos, live streams. I might do 1, 2, 3 games in a row. I mean, last season and the year before, there was times where I did the morning game, the afternoon, and Sunday night football. I don't think there's anyone on planet Earth that has that kind of fucking dedication to be able to do, 3 games, by themselves, or let alone if you're with a duo or a trio. I mean, I usually see people maybe doing 1 or 2. If you do a basketball game, that's easy. Those games go quick, hour and a half, 2 hours. But football, I mean, that's like 3 hours. So no shits, no pisses, barely eating. You know what I mean? You got to really have that dedication. And like I said, Swaggy P, my boy Joey Gomez, Joe Dog, Zach, and my dedication's been on point. No one is going to outwork me. No one is going to be able to show you more passion, energy, dedication. And like I said, I had a Michael Jordan rookie card, PSA 9, that I ended up selling for the Dream. All right. That was worth about $5,000 to $6,000 4 years ago when I started the channel. It's worth like 20 now. I knew it was going to go up. The Jordan documentary and everything. I knew it. So, I mean, but at this point, if I would have a $20,000 Michael Jordan rookie card, PSA 9, or have 20,000 subscribers, I would rather have the 20,000 subscribers. I can get the Jordan rookie card again, but getting 20,000 subscribers, it's very hard. A lot of people that have YouTube channels, they usually quit before they get to 100 or even 1,000 subscribers because it's hard. You know what I mean? But if you have good content, you believe in yourself, you're motivated, and I learned everything on my own. How to use a green screen, how to do all the different options. So I'm really proud of what I've, turned the channel into. Of course, it would be great if we could still have the same people, that started the channel that are still here. But, shit happens, you know what I mean? And I can't control what, someone else does. So the channel must go on. So I'm going to end up having more people on the show. I'm going to have fans that are in the room on the show. And we're going to have the best fucking 2021 and beyond, period. And like I said, it's all about the Fanatic family. Going to be doing a lot of giveaways as well. Once we hit 20,000 subscribers again, I'll do an NFL jersey giveaway. But like I said, the Fanatic family is very important to me. The NFL, college football, wrestling is very important to me. And I'm always going to work hard. And I always really want to say thank you and show the love to the fans. Because without y'all, I'm nothing. You know what I mean? I know I got something good. And I know at some point, whether it be ESPN, Fox Sports, NFL Network, XFL with The Rock, I know that the door is going to knock and I'm going to be able to answer that opportunity, Pat McAfee show, whatever it is. I'm going to get my opportunity at some point or another, but my legacy on YouTube with my voice and my hard work and my effort, it'll be here. So as long as I keep working hard, I know the other opportunities are going to come, but I don't necessarily just do this, for money. You know what I mean? I do this for the love of the game. And you can tell, based off all the passion, the energy, the dedication, the reading, the film study. If I didn't love this shit, I wouldn't be doing it. Now, I've been a sports fanatic since 5 years old. And that's big facts. Marcos Pineda, my boy. Mark, he said, it would be cool if we could call in. Well, that would be interesting. I would have to get a separate phone number. I do have a phone number or a phone here, my girlfriend's work phone, but, I got to be able to get my own phone line to call in. Maybe that'll be something that we can incorporate down the road. But if you could call in, I mean, I could always, I could have people that know me personally, hit my cell up, and then you could hear it, but to actually hear the conversations and actually have a phone line, I would need more of a team, like someone to actually answer the phones, kind of like the Pat McAfee show where they actually have a team, someone that does the computer, someone that does the editing, someone that does the thumbnails, someone that answers the phones. Pretty much it's me. You know what I mean? I am, the CEO. I am Northwest Sports Fanatics, but now I got Joey Gomez. I got my boy Swaggy P, Zach. So I got, a few others, but they're all going to be kind of part-time. So it really is going to be up to them because Zach lives in Washington. Joey lives probably about 30 minutes from me in Beaverton. Swaggy P lives in Beaverton. So they're both about 30 minutes away or about 45 minutes away for Zach in Washington. But, I know they'll be able to come through and it'll be awesome. Let's see, Marcos Pineda. It would be cool if you could call in. Facts. I always love to hear the thoughts of the audience. You can ask any sports YouTuber. That's mostly their favorite thing. Yeah. And like I said, I feel that, with this new StreamYard, this is definitely exciting. Marcos, I don't know if you've seen this before, but this is my very first stream on StreamYard, and I like it, man. You can end up showing, all the different comments up there up above. Let's see here. Then you can put the comment. You see the Northwest Sports Fanatic. You got the side scrolling on the bottom, so I can put scores and any type of information there as well. So I definitely agree, man. I definitely agree. Lee Brushwood in the building. What to do? Don't forget, Chiefs picked up Jared Reed from the Seahawks. Jaron Reed, not Jared Reed. Jaron Reed from the Seahawks that put Chris Jones on the outside his college position with Frank Clark. Frank Clark and Jaron Reed had their highest sack totals. I'm excited to see what the Chiefs are going to do. Still think that, they are going to be the favored team. The schedule is a little bit harder for them. The schedule is a little bit harder for them than the Bucs. The Bucs schedule, strength of schedule, and the opponents that we face is going to be a little bit harder for the Chiefs than the Bucs. But if I had to guess on who might have the best record in the NFL when it's all said and done, I would probably predict the Chiefs, even over my Buccaneers. I mean, I know I'm bringing back all 22 starters, but if you look at Andy Reid and Bieniemy, he didn't go anywhere. He still got Mahomes. He still got Tyreek. He still got Kelsey. You still got Frank Clark. You still got Chris Jones. Chris Jones? And you still got Honey Badger, one of my favorite players in the NFL. It's going to be tough to beat the Chiefs. Everyone is going to be aiming for the Chiefs and Bucks, and maybe we'll end up getting a Super Bowl rematch, and that's big facts. He said, do you spell his name Zach, Z-A-C-H, Zach, Z-A-C-K, or Zach, Z-A-C? I think with Brute Saint, I think we spell his name Z-A-C-H. But I'd have to actually look at my phone because, like I said, I've had a few interactions with him with like family get-togethers with my girlfriend for like barbecues and whatnot. Let me take a quick look. I'm pretty sure it's Zachary Smith. That's my boy. Z-A-C-H. So Z-A-C-H. That's my boy. So Zach, Troy Johnson Jr. in the building. What to do? How are you, my guy? Yeah, I'm excited though to be able to have some other people co-host with me this season, and like I said, have some different opinions from different teams. Like I said, Zach is a big Cowboys fan. He's older like me. Been a fan with the Troy Aikman, Emmitt Smith, era with Michael Irvin, Leon Lett, Dion. So he's not one of those guys because, as we know, some Cowboys fans are douchebags. We know that, right? Just like in any fan base, right? But I'll promise you this. He ain't no douchebag. This guy's very intelligent, fantasy football guru, just like your boy. All right. So we can also do fantasy football videos, but he's definitely got a good pulse on not only, the Mariners or the Seahawks or anything that's in the Washington area, since he lives one state above me, right? But he has a good pulse on the league in general, NBA with the Blazers, right? Anything baseball or football related. So it's going to be exciting to be able to get his kind of 2 cents. And I think he's going to absolutely fall in love because he's never seen the setup before. He has no idea. So it's going to be really awesome to have him on. Preston was on for NFC Championship game and Super Bowl last year, which was great. You guys were fantastic, during that time period. I mean, I think we had like $200 and $250 in donations on the NFC Championship game, and we had like $500 in donations for the Super Bowl with me and Swaggy P, which was awesome. You guys are the best fans ever. So it's going to be exciting to see as we go forward when I get my boy Joey Gomez. So you'll be able to get his Charger perspective, and he's got a good pulse on the NFL as well. Troy Johnson Jr., my boy, StreamYard, my first stream on here. I absolutely love it. Marcos Pineda, yes, looks legit. Absolutely. That looks good. I'll eat that in a second. Girlfriend just brought in some dinner. I don't know what it is. It's like potatoes, eggs, or I don't know. Whatever it is, it smells great. So I might have to go eat dinner here in a little bit. Marcos Pineda, man, I love it. And this one doesn't have any issues with any lag because obviously with the OBS program, if you've been watching streams from me since I've moved, I've had a lot of problems with OBS, fucking up with the connection, the connectivity, the bit rate. So I said, you know what? I've gone through 2 weeks of having bullshit, right? With OBS that let me try this. And then I love the side scrolling on the bottom. Absolutely love it. And then you got, the different options that I can bring up here on the screen as well. Let's see here. Lee Brushwood. Oh yeah. Oh no, the Bucks are the team to beat. Well, yes, I'm saying, we got the Super Bowl win. We're Tampa Bay, right? I get it. But if you had to go based off record, because with me, Tampa Bay, I know my team better than anybody, right? We are not going to go undefeated. The Chiefs are not going to go undefeated, right? We always are going to play in tough competitive games. Like we lost to the Saints, by a little bit more than 10, game 1. Lost to the Bears by 3 when Tom Brady forgot what fucking down it was, right? I knew we would recover. Lost to the Rams by 3, Chiefs by 3 when Tyreek was doing the fucking backflips, right? Lost to the Saints 38-3, 35-point loss. So even though, we won the Super Bowl, I know that Tampa Bay, like when I won the Super Bowl in 02-03 with John Gruden, we went 12-4. So I know we're going to go like 11-5, 12-4. Now we got an extra game, right? So it'll be like a 12-5 type of thing. So I know we're going to hit some losses, and that doesn't bother me one bit. So I think right now, if I had to take a guess, no undefeated teams, no one-loss teams, no 2-loss teams, but if anyone is going to have the best record in the NFL, I would predict it would be the Chiefs with 3 losses. That's what I would feel, and the Chiefs have a harder strength of schedule than the Bucks. So the Bucks might end up being that team, that could be in that point where they're 14-3. But I mean, think about the parity in the league. You know, sometimes you might play like the Jets with Zach Wilson, or you play Trevor Lawrence and the Jags, and you're like, oh, we're going to stomp the shit out of them. And then all of a sudden you get down like 10-0, right? And it's like the end of the second quarter, and then maybe they kick a couple field goals, and then you have some turnovers, just have a shitty game, and you lose by 2 or 3. It happens all the time. So that's just my personal opinion that, you know, I feel that, you know, I love my Tampa Bay Buccaneers, no doubt. I love the Chiefs. Right now, like I said, the pecking order goes Chiefs, Browns, Bills. All right. And then you got teams on the cusp, right? The Ravens, right? The Patriots, the Dolphins, the Chargers with Justin Herbert, which is my favorite team in the AFC, not at the top. And then on the NFC side, you got the Bucks, you got the Rams, right? And then you got the Packers if Rodgers stays. But I love the San Francisco 49ers. They got an easy schedule. I think they're going to make the playoffs this year. Kyler Murray, Cardinals, I think they can make the playoffs this year. We can't doubt and even, you know, second guess Danger Russ and Russell Wilson, and Seattle maybe making the playoffs too. You're not going to get 4 teams out of the NFC West, but you might get 3. Bucks got it in the NFC South. Saints, Panthers, Falcons will all beat each other up. NFC East could be anyone. Washington football team with their great defense. Dak with their great offense. Giants with their well-rounded team, you know, adding Kadarius Toney and some of those other key pieces, Galladay and whatnot. But we don't know about Danny Dimes. Defense is well improved too. Kadarius Toney's a stud from Florida, right? And then you got the Philadelphia Eagles. They got Devontae Smith and Jalen Hurts, right? But Dallas Goedert's good. But what about the offensive line with Brooks and Lane Johnson and Kelsey and Andre Dillard? And, you know, Fletcher Cox is getting a little older, and big play Slay on the back end. Darius Slay ain't getting younger. So, you know, if you go and look at the divisions on how everything is laid out, NFC West is the best division in football. And then on the flip side, if you go to the AFC, Chiefs, Browns, Bills, and then it kind of leaves you like, what are we going to get from the Bengals? Will they be better than the Steelers? I mean, I don't know if Joe Burrow can stay healthy. They probably should have went Penei Sewell, but I know Jamar Chase is going to be good. So we got a lot to look forward to, and that's big facts. Troy Johnson Jr. Hey, you got a great new setup. Appreciate it, man. I started to use StreamYard today. Like I said, I absolutely love to be able to showcase, different chats that you guys bring up on the screen, the way that it's formatted with your picture, your name, and then pretty much your comment. Love it. Love the side scrolling on the bottom so I can do a scoreboard down there if I need to. To pay for the premium features where I can add more of my logos and whatnot, I got to pay more money, but I got to research that. I can add people to join me on the stream on here as well. But like I said, I think this is the one I'm going to use because OBS has been too stressful on my computer. This one hasn't crapped out at all. It's been a very clean stream, and that's what I want. I want a clean stream with no buffering, no bullshit. You know what I mean? That way I can vibe with the fans. And I think this setup, I like a little bit more. StreamYard, you got yourself a winner, my guy. Absolutely love it. Troy Johnson Jr., hey, you got a great new setup. Appreciate that, man. This channel has been a long time favorite of mine on YouTube. Appreciate that. I've been really putting in all my, eggs in a basket, really working hard on reading and film study. And let me tell you, when you have 2 jobs, and you work a full-time job, and I'm waking up at 6:45 in the morning, getting home at like 4:30, right? And then I hop on usually an hour or 2 after, no rest, just, film study or reading. It shows you my love and dedication. And I told you guys once I moved and I got the studio, I don't have AC in this room. It's like 100 fucking degrees. I got all these goddamn photography lights and all this bullshit in here, right? I don't got my TV in here yet with my flat screen and my wall mount, right? But I'm so dedicated to you guys and the channel, it doesn't matter. I can do an hour, 2 hours. Obviously, I still got to be able to make time, with, the girlfriend and everything else I got going on. And the NFL season is going to be fantastic. I'll be doing a lot of Oregon Ducks live play-by-play and reaction games, as well as maybe Ohio State and Bama, LSU, Georgia, Clemson. I'm going to be doing a lot of college football too. But it's exciting, just to see where the channel is going. And I appreciate kind words like this. Channel's been a long time favorite of mine on YouTube, and it's going to keep getting better and better and better. Appreciate that, man. The AFC is so good. They are. It used to be the AFC on one side, then the NFC, and right now the AFC is starting to get a little bit better. It used to be just kind of like the Chiefs, the Bills, and then kind of like everyone else. But now you've seen what the Browns are doing. They got to be the number 2 team in the AFC. And the thing that worries me about the Bills, still got no running game. They don't have their Josh Jacobs, right? They don't got their Jonathan Taylor. They don't got their Najee Harris. And for you to be able to get past, I feel like maybe a Cleveland this season with all the additions that they made on defense and offense, as well as a team like Kansas City, you need to be able to run the football. You know what I mean? And with what they got right now, I don't think it's going to be good enough. I mean, you can get to the playoffs, you can get to the AFC Championship game, but if it's the Bills and Chiefs again, you're not winning. You're not winning. I want you to win. I want the Bills to have a shot to win at some point. I think Bills in the Super Bowl with Bills Mafia would be awesome, right? But I just don't know. You almost have to pray that the Chiefs get banged up. Mahomes gets banged up, or the Browns, or there's a lot of parity in the league, but you almost have to hope that shit happens to the other teams for you to get there, because just with what you have right now with Josh Allen and Diggs is great, right? But the offensive line could be better. Running game could be better. Defense could be a little bit better. I like what they have on their roster, but I feel that they're just still not champion. I mean, they are a top 3 team in the AFC. Some people have them number 2 behind the Chiefs. But as you saw, like in the AFC Championship game, there's a big fucking difference between the Chiefs and the Bills. I mean, you saw it in the game, and that's facts. Troy Johnson Jr. My Ravens can win the AFC, man. We have to get over the hump. I agree. I think right now I would say the Browns are number 1 in the AFC North, and I have Ravens too. I have Steelers. Gosh, I don't know. Maybe 3rd or 4th. I think if the Bengals and Joe Burrow can stay healthy, I would not be shocked if the Steelers finish in 4th. And they got Ben, and they got Juju, they got Najee Harris, no Bud Dupree, they got TJ Watt and Minkah Fitzpatrick, and some people will think I'm crazy, right? And it's more than likely that they'll finish 3rd, but there is a chance that the Bengals take that next step with Burrow and Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, and the O-line sucks. The running game is questionable, right? Defense blows. Coaching isn't good, right? But maybe, at some point, maybe this season, you never know. That's why it's the NFL. And it wouldn't shock me if the Bengals finish 3rd and the Steelers finish 4th, but I definitely have the Ravens. I think J.K. Dobbins, Gus Edwards is a nice 1-2 punch. And obviously getting, Bateman, that's huge. Hollywood Brown is definitely, I wouldn't say he's a bust, but he definitely isn't as good as we thought he was going to be. You got to be able to be more than a D-Jax and run just a go route. And they don't really throw the ball. They're a running team. So they still need to get a true 3-down back, a Jonathan Taylor, a Josh Jacobs back for the Ravens, because J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards are kind of change of pace back, 3rd down backs, in my opinion. But I still think the Ravens have a great shot to win the division in the AFC North. But the Browns right now got to have a little bit of a leg up based on some of the additions they had in free agency. Bringing some of those guys over to the Browns, getting JOK, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah from Notre Dame, bringing over some of those guys from the Rams defense over. I mean, the Browns defense is fucking loaded. All right. And you got to have a loaded defense. You got to have a good O-line, which they do. You got to have good running game, the best duo in the league. Baker's still kind of wishy-washy, right? He's a little wishy-washy, but if you go back and look at his stats from last year, he really firmed up. He really tightened up, and had pretty good stat line going in. We just kind of are negative towards Baker. Some of these middle tier quarterbacks like Carr, Baker, Kirk Cousins, we want to be able to show them love, but sometimes they play like shit, and that's all that we remember. It's like, Baker played great, 4 touchdowns, no picks, but we don't remember that. We remember the game that he had like 1 touchdown and 3 picks and a pick 6. I think that's just in our mentality. It's not that I think that we're all hating on Baker, or hating on Carr or Kirk Cousins, but sometimes we see them play like shit, on the big stage, and maybe that they can prove that they can be a little bit better. But yeah, I definitely think that the Ravens can be in the running. If they don't win the division, I think they can get a wild card. That's big facts. Arizona Cardinals had a solid offseason. Budda Baker is a stud. Getting J.J. Watt, he changed the culture there. Chandler Jones is amazing. I think a lot of people forgot how great he was since he got hurt last season. He is one of the best NFL players in the league, period. Chandler Jones, based off being a pass rusher, is a top 5 defensive player as a pass rusher in this league. Facts. I mean, go back and look at the stats. He's great. There hasn't really been anyone that's been better at pass rushing since 2015 than Chandler Jones. And then you got J.J. Watt coming in, as well. So a nice 1-2 combo. I do have the Arizona Cardinals making the playoffs this season, not winning the division, which I think it's going to be the Rams or the 49ers, personally. And I know that might shock a lot of y'all, because I think Trey Area and the obviously San Francisco 49ers, they got, the best coach besides Sean McVay. I love Kyle Shanahan and Sean McVay, so I think that they're going to be able to do things. Cliff Kingsbury's good, but it's all going to be on Kyler, the offensive line, the running game. Defense has gotten better, but it's really the offense and Kyler. He needs to take his game to the next level and not crap out like he did last season. But I think the Cardinals are going to get in to the playoffs, and that's big facts. This goes without saying, but damn, I love football. Damn right, man. I absolutely love the NFL as well. The Browns have the best running back duo in the league, man. No doubt. Of course, I'm not biased, man. I call it just how I see it. And there's other duos out there too that are pretty damn good. Latavius Murray and AK. You got Rojo and Fournette. There's a lot of duos out there that can pack a healthy punch. But no one is better than Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. Because if you don't think Kareem Hunt is a top 10 running back in this league, if he went to another team, he could be the number one back. I mean, I imagine the Kansas City Chiefs probably wish that they still had him, but he had that off the field issues, kicking the girl like in the elevator or in the hallway in the hotel room. I mean, you can't be doing that. And obviously they had to let him go anytime you end up having issues like that, which is definitely sad. But you got Clyde Edwards-Helaire, make him stare, Helaire, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, But the thing is he didn't really play as good as I thought he was, but, they're more of a passing team, not really a running team. And then you had Damian Williams and the mom with COVID, and he sat out. And, you had Darrell Williams. So, they're kind of a running back by committee. And Le'Veon Bell no longer there. And he was bitching that he didn't get to play, and he'll never play for Andy Reid. Well, guess what, Le'Veon? You're not the same fucking running back as you were like Todd Gurley a couple years ago. Le'Veon Bell and Todd Gurley used to be the best top 2 running backs in the league. But guess what? You're not anymore. All right. The league moves quick. And if you're talking about a fall from grace, I don't know if I've seen anyone fall off the mountain quicker than maybe Le'Veon Bell. Todd Gurley obviously still has a little bit more potential in my eyes, depending on the team that he gets, but his knees are fucked, right? And it's sad because they were so great. They were so great in the last few years, right? In the last few years, but, they fell off. Odin's Child, my boy. Chiefs Kingdom in the building. Fucking Frank Clark, plus our O-line was trash. My guy. But hey, Mitchell Schwartz, if he was healthy, right? Eric Fisher was healthy. You guys could have won the Super Bowl or been more competitive. But now you got Orlando Brown, right, from the Ravens. Troy Johnson Jr., how the fuck did you guys give up Orlando Brown? I know you wanted to play left tackle and you already got, Ronnie there, but fucking A, dude. So you gave him up. Now you got him, right? You got who? Joe Thuney, Patriots, good player, right? We obviously know with Long, Kyle Long got injured. Hopefully he'll be back sooner than later, right? And you got Niang, he'll be there, right? Lawrence Duvernay-Tardif, he was being a doctor and doing the COVID thing. He'll be there. And then you got my favorite underlining guy, Creed. We're not talking about the band. We're talking about the stud offensive lineman from Oklahoma who's an animal. So offensive line is really revamped for the Chiefs. I'm hoping we get a Chiefs-Buccaneers Super Bowl rematch. I know if you're a fan of any other team besides the Chiefs or the Bucs, you don't want that. But I definitely could see that happening. We are the 2 best teams in the NFL, hands down. If you look at the roster, you look at the coaching, Andy Reid, Bieniemy, B.A., Byron Leftwich, Todd Bowles. I mean, Bieniemy could be a head coach. Todd Bowles could be a head coach. That's facts. But we ended up keeping the group together. Odin Child, my new setup, StreamYard. It's got the little side scrolling on the bottom. I can highlight some things up there. Glad that you're in here, man. I know you've been working a lot, like I said, and I know last night I had issues with the Hell in the Cell, but now I switched over to StreamYard. It's been about an hour and a half, no glitches, no buffering, no problem. So I'm thinking I'm going to switch over to this platform. I absolutely love it. Apologize for any issues with that yesterday, but it looks like moving forward, this is going to be the platform that I'm going to use. Miss you, Odin's Child. Can't wait to do Chiefs games, and I'm going to be able to invite people on the channel on this platform. So we might be able to have some interaction with some of the fans that I can invite on the channel, some of the fan members, as well as I'm going to have my boy Joey, going to have my boy Zach and Preston on the channel with me co-hosting at some point during the season. And I might have a few others that I'm friends with, so I'm definitely excited. Daniel Hylan in the building. What to do? He said, what should the Sixers do with Ben Simmons? I'll tell you what, I'm in Oregon right here, and we're the Blazers, and I know they're looking at Becky Hammond, and then they're looking at Chauncey Billups. I don't want either of them. I mean, I know a female is going to get an opportunity to be a head coach at some point. We let Terry Stotts go, right? Ben Simmons is trash. He can't play point guard. I feel bad for Philly fans. If you're a Sixer fan, you should have won that series. There's no way Atlanta and the Hawks, I mean, Trae Young is great, right? But with the team that you had with Embiid with the MVP season, I don't follow the NBA as much as the NFL, but I know what's going on, and I'll take a peek here and there. But Simmons is trash. I mean, he's good at defense, right? But you can't score like 8 points, 5 points, 5 points in games like 5, 6, and 7. That's unacceptable. You know what I mean? You can't shoot free throws. You know what I mean? You can't shoot threes, right? Your defense is pretty good, but I mean, fucking A, man. It's like you can't have so many limitations. Ben Simmons has got to be gone. Like I said, you got a decent core there, but you blew the big leads again. And it just seems like Philly sports, besides, the slick Nick Foles, finally overcoming Tom Brady and, doing it for Randall Cunningham, doing it for Jaws, doing it for Jerome Brown, doing it for Reggie White, doing it for all those guys, Brian Dawkins, getting that Super Bowl win was awesome. But I'll tell you, with Ben Simmons, that motherfucker is trash. And there's rumors for him kind of coming to the Blazers. We don't want him. We absolutely don't want him. That motherfucker needs to retire. I don't want to say trash can emoji, but trash can emoji, man. Garbage. Odin Child, Hilaire will do better. Hope he puts some meat on his bones. Well, with your offensive line being better, anyone at the running back position is going to be able to dominate. And that's big facts. So I dig your grind, dog. Appreciate that, man. You boys always grinding, man. And the job has been tough. I'm doing it's like 90 to 100 degrees here. It's going to be about 90 to 100 for about 10 days straight. I work in a warehouse. I got my first Pfizer shot. I got another one coming up in a week or two. But to wear the masks when you're in a hot warehouse with no AC, and doing shipping and making boxes and shipping out materials, it's fucking rough. Just sweating and sweating and sweating and being uncomfortable. But at least I can wear shorts. At least I can wear, cut off, tees, NWO like I got on right now, New world order, right? So I can end up wearing whatever I want. I can listen to the Pat McAfee show, in the morning, Good Morning Football in the morning, which is nice. So I can still get that 6 hours of NFL coverage in my ear while I'm working. And then I can still do the film study and more research when I get home. But your boy's always grinding, man. And I want to make 2021 great. Like I said, this is going to be year 5 for me on YouTube, year 9 of my dream. 1,100 plus videos, 3.4 million views, on the cusp of 20,000 subscribers. We hit it for the Ravens-Steelers game. Lost, some subscribers after the NFL season ended, which is fine. I know some of them will come back once the NFL season starts up. But for the people that kept their sub, thank you. I love you. And I'll just have to work extra hard to be able to get some of those subs back as well as some new ones. And then I want to definitely get over that 20,000 subscriber hump, hopefully somewhere between 21 and 25,000, depending on what kind of support I get from the fans as well as YouTube and suggesting my material. But I'm never going to quit. And I'm going to keep grinding, man. Appreciate you guys. I love you guys very much, man. But I like this new setup right here. Brute Saint, fire. Tighten up. Big Jeff Simmons and Autry on the Titans D-line now. Excited about the Titans. Excited about Julio. You definitely can make the playoffs. Bud Dupree is going to help that defense out quite a bit. I think the Titans, the Patriots, and the Chargers are the 3 teams that really could do some damage, right, against the top dogs, the Chiefs, the Bills, and the Browns. All right. And it really goes Chiefs, Browns, Bills. Ravens could be in that category too. Ravens, Titans, Patriots, Chargers. These teams are very dangerous. Some teams got a little bit more offense than defense like the Titans do, but I can't wait to watch Julio on one side, A.J. Brown on the other, King Henry getting handoffs, and my favorite quarterback in the NFL that's not Tom Brady, believe it or not, is Ryan Tannehill. And I've said that for a long, long time. When Tannehill was going to be available to come to the Buccaneers or re-sign with the Titans, he was my number 1 choice. I've watched him at Texas A&M at wide receiver. He transitioned into a quarterback. He's one of those guys. He's kind of like a Rich Gannon, a Brad Johnson, a journeyman, but he never gave up. Adam Gase and all these other fuckers that he was working with, it just wasn't a good fit. Mariota got the boot. And that's my guy from Oregon, the Heisman winner, right? Why would I like someone taking my guy's spot? But I really love Ryan Tannehill and everything that he's done. And if you go back and look at his last 24 to 27 starts, he's a top 10 quarterback in this league. Lots of touchdowns, very little interceptions, great on third down. And in my opinion, the 2 best young wide receivers that are in the league that are on the cusp of being top 5 and being superstars are A.J. Brown and Justin Jefferson. And you're probably going to get Jamar Chase in that category as well after what we see this season with Joe Burrow. But my 2 favorite wide receivers, like right now, my favorite players right now going into the league, it's got to be at quarterback, Justin Herbert. Wide receiver, it's got to be A.J. Brown and Justin Jefferson. Right. And then as far as other positions are concerned, I'm trying to think of who else that really, stands out to me. I think J.C. Horn, I really like him on the Panthers. He's got kind of that Dion kind of dog mentality. And there's quite a few others that are out there that are kind of, on my radar. But I would say those are the main ones that I'm thinking of. But Titans, man, I'm really excited to see what they can do. Tighten up 22. How do you like the new setup, my guy? I love it, man. It's looking good. Said, Alex Suck, LOL, just as bad as the warehouse. Yeah, man, I feel you, dude. I feel you. if you're in the attics and you're doing that kind of work, man, you're getting hot, you're getting sweaty. A lot of people have been busy, with work. Obviously, as we know, my boy Reginald, he was in the stream there a little bit. And as we know, Odin's Child on Twitter, he loves his Eagles and whatnot, but he's been doing the FedEx driving thing too. So it's one of those things. I mean, you got to grind right now before football season and make that money. But I feel for you, man. And I'm glad that you're in here because I know a lot of times you're sleeping. I know a lot of times with, donations and everything. If you can donate to the channel, great. If you can't, it's totally all right. Like I said, I'm going to keep working hard. I'm going to keep grinding. But like I said, moving over to StreamYard, it's very exciting. I think I'm going to use this instead of the OBS. But I'm never going to quit, with the grind. And I'm really excited for this NFL season to come closer and closer and closer. Big facts. Daniel, so do you think Dak will be scared to run out of the pocket, causing him to force throw? Absolutely not. Eagles fans, hated on Dak, and now you got Dak 2.0 and Jalen Hurts there. Carson Wentz was the opposite of Dak. If he stays healthy, they're going to have a top 10 offense in this league. If he stays healthy for the full season and you get good production out of CeeDee Lamb, Zeke ends up not being a forgotten player. They could have a top 5 offense in the league. You got Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb, Michael Gallup. You got Zeke, you got Dak. But the question is, Micah Parsons, right? The defense, DeMarcus Lawrence, Van Der Esch. What are we going to get from Dan Quinn and that defense? It's not going to be the Legion of Boom, but I don't think Dak will be scared at all. We're going to see it week 1. The kickoff against my Tampa Bay Buccaneers. My boy Zach is a big Cowboys fan. So I'm excited to see Dak. I really am. Like, a lot of people hate the Patriots. They hate the Cowboys. The league is better overall when the Cowboys are good, because either you're looking for the Cowboys to be shitty and you're hoping they lose, or, you something to talk about. You either want to talk shit about them or you want to watch them. But when the Cowboys and the Niners are good, the league overall is better. Just like the rivalry they had with Troy Aikman, Emmitt Smith, Michael Irvin, Steve Young, Jerry Rice, Dion, in the early 90s, Joe Montana. That's when the league is great, in my opinion. So I can't wait to see if the Cowboys and the Niners both make the playoffs this season. Calvin Griffin, my boy, boom. How you like the new look, man? The new setup. So I still got to decide if I want to do the premium edition and whatnot, but I like being able to have the comments pop up on the screen like that. Once I click on them, I got the little side scrolling thing so I could do a scoreboard down there as well. But it looks good, man. I definitely am digging the new setup. You're watching Lashley, Hell in the Cell on Raw. Okay. Woods. Yeah. The pay-per-view was pretty good yesterday. I was actually surprised. Hell in the Cell. I did a little live stream with it. I didn't know if it was going to be a good pay-per-view. I canceled my Peacock subscription. I have it until like July 14th. So I might get it back for SummerSlam. But I only have it specifically for the pay-per-views. I don't watch anything on Peacock besides like Young Rock when it was on there, when I, kind of binge watched that. But I don't know. The pay-per-view was pretty good. I won't lie. It was pretty good. I mean, the storyline is kind of shitty still. I still prefer AEW over WWE. Hopefully Raw, SmackDown, and NXT will get better with the fans. But yeah, Dak will not be scared to run. And like I said, hopefully WWE gets better. Odin's Child, my boy. Calvin Griffin, my boy, in the building. Daniel, in the building. What to do? Dylan, aye, what to do? Dylan, in the building. Nyland Saints, in the building. What to do, my guy? How are you? New look, man. I'm grinding. Man, Dylan, all right. It's the E-Man in the building. What to do? What to do, E-Man? So we are back. We'll give the Bucks a run for their money if we can stay healthy, of course. Yeah, man. San Francisco 49ers, E-Man, bang, bang, Niner gang. You know what? I got the Niners making the playoffs this season. So I don't care what anyone says. They got an easy schedule. I believe in Trey Area. And I think that the Niners could win the division. And you heard it here first. I mean, the Rams are going to be the team that everyone thinks is going to win. And rightfully so. Matthew Stafford, great addition. But you lost Michael Brockers. You lost John Johnson III, right? You also lost Troy Hill. And you lost your defensive coordinator to the Seahawks. People don't want to bring that up, right? Malcolm Brown's gone too. So you lost quite a few pieces. You still got Cooper Kupp. You still got Robert Woods. You still got some of those Darrell Henderson, Cam Akers, studs. You still got those pieces there. But I think as long as the Niners can stay healthy, not only can they make the playoffs as a wild card, I think they're going to fight for that divisional crown, because you always have a team that finishes last or third and they jump to first. So this year, it could be the Giants making the playoffs with the Niners, and we could also see the Dolphins and the Chargers take a big jump as well, right? I always have to think outside the box. And the teams that went to the playoffs last year don't necessarily mean they're going to go to the playoffs this upcoming year. You always have to have a little bit of change. If you're a fan of the NFL, you know this. Big facts. Dylan says, you think Jameis is going to shock the haters with some newly found accuracy and decision-making or nah? To be very honest, I don't think he is your long-term guy. Taysom Hill isn't going to be the guy at quarterback either. If I had to take a guess on what your guys' record is going to be this year, it's not going to be like 3 or 4 wins. I think you guys are going to go 9-8 or 8-9, miss the playoffs. But if you end up getting your future quarterback, whether it be a Tannehill-ish, Kirk Cousins-ish kind of quarterback, or you draft one, then that might be able to take one step backwards to go 10 steps forward. Then you guys will be in the mix because you still got an amazing O-line led by Ryan Ramczyk. You still got Sean Payton. You still got AK-41, my favorite running back in the league, top 2 running back with Derrick Henry right now, even though Saquon runs CMC, Zeke, and all these other Josh Jacobs, Jonathan Taylors, and all these Najee Harrises are in the mix, right? So defense lost some pieces. No Trey Hendrickson, no Sheldon Rankins, no Jenkins, but you still got Cameron Jordan. You still got Lattimore. You still got Demario Davis. So we'll see where it goes. But if I had to say if you guys are going to be great or if you're going to underachieve, I would probably say you're going to underachieve. But even if you underachieve, you guys still could be finished second in the NFC South over the Panthers and the Falcons. I think it'll be between you and the Panthers really battling it out for second place in the NFC South. That's big facts. Bang! Calvin Griffin, $2, still king of the South. Hey, you did beat me twice in the regular season. Appreciate the donation. My dude, $2, and he still had to rub it in. Still king of the South. Hey, but the Buccaneers, we got the Super Bowls, though. You guys can win the division, but it's all about winning the rings, baby. It's all about winning those Super Bowls. Brute Saint, another Saints fan in the building. We got Calvin Griffin, Saints fan, Brute Saint, Saints fan, and we got Dylan, Saints fan. So I think so, Dylan. I'm part of the minority. I just don't care. Jameis will be good. Well, you're hoping he's going to be good. The thing to me that I don't think it's necessarily about Jameis and the LASIK. I mean, obviously he's kind of a knucklehead off the field. I didn't really have good, I mean, you can get 5,000 yards, but if you're getting 33 touchdowns, 30 picks compared to 40 touchdowns, 12 picks, and 4,000 yards out of Brady, you just can't turn the ball over and win games. So, the thing is that worries me, it's not really Jameis, to be honest. What worries me is your lack of depth. The lack of depth on defense, the rookies, and the lack of depth at wide receiver. That's really the thing that worries me the most because Emmanuel Sanders isn't there. Jared Cook, the fumbler, is gone, so I know you guys love that. But if Michael Thomas, all right, MT13, can't guard Mike, if he gets hurt, you're fucked. What are you going to do? Who's going to be the next guy? It can't necessarily just be Harris or one of these other guys that's kind of, more of a special teams guy or a so-so, game breaker guy. You got to have talent. I know Emmanuel Sanders there. You can't throw to AK-41, 15 times a game. I guess you could with like screen passes, but I mean, if you hand the ball off to him 30 times a game and throw him 15 fucking passes, he's going to blow up. And there's not enough Skittles, that's his favorite candy, right? AK-41 loves the Skittles. There's not enough, beast mode Skittles for him to be able to recover. So I don't know if Jameis is really going to be the question. It's going to be the depth at wide receiver, in my opinion, and also his play calling, how he does on third down, and him forcing plays. Because obviously he knows this is a make or break year. If he ends up having a bad year, he might be a bench guy for the rest of his career. Like maybe possibly like a Mariota or some of these other guys. So if Jameis has a bad year, he'll never start in the league ever again. I'm pretty confident of that. So we'll see what happens, but I'm not too, I'm optimistic, but I mean, if you guys think you're going to win the division or go to the playoffs, I mean, you're not going to be able to do it against Tampa Bay. And if anything, it might be better that you don't make the playoffs to get a better draft pick. So that way you get the next Drew Brees rather hanging around the idea of Taysom and Jameis, because either one can't be your quarterback moving forward, and not at least long-term. Short-term, maybe, but if you want long-term success, you got to get somebody better. And I think you guys know that too. And that's big facts. Dylan says, I definitely think Sean Payton can bring the best out. Well, of course. Right. But if you're thin at wide receiver and Michael Thomas goes down, you're not going to win the division. You know what I mean? And think about all the pieces that you lost on defense too. The team, you had your Super Bowl run team of 4 or 5 years, right? And I'm not saying that you guys can't get back to that because you still got key cogs like Demario Davis and Cameron Jordan there, right, on the defensive side, right? You still got AK-41 and Ramczyk and the O-line there and Sean Payton there, but you have to have more than that. You have to have more than that. You got to have 8 out of 11 guys on offense and 8 out of 11 guys on defense. You got to have at least 16, right, out of the 22 starters to be at least good players or at least above average with a couple guys average. You can't have a bunch of shitty players. You just can't have 3 or 4 on offense or 6 or 7 on offense and 4 or 5 on defense and think that you're going to be able to do big things. It's a team game. This ain't the NBA where you can just have like Kobe, rest in peace, Kobe, right? Or Jordan, and just have one guy take over the game. So we'll see what happens. You know what I mean? But I wouldn't be putting the expectations high. Like I know some people think that they're going to, win 11, 12, 13, 14 games. I don't think so. Yeah. Brute Saint is that he was able to do that with Bridgewater. Why not Winston? Well, the reason why is that Bridgewater is a game manager and he doesn't turn over the football. Winston might be the better quarterback athletically, right? He's kind of one of those guys that will take chances. But when you take chances, you lose games. You fumble the football, you throw pick sixes, you turn the ball over in the fourth quarter, right? You turn the ball over on third down, you don't win games. Bridgewater can't throw deep, right? A lot of checkdowns. His arm is limited. But what does Bridgewater do? Not turn the fucking football over, all right, compared to Winston. So they're two totally different quarterbacks. You got to keep that in mind. I don't know if Winston can 360 his game and, have better leadership. Not eat W's, yum, 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 right? Not do that, because that was embarrassing. No one believed what he was saying when he did that on Tampa Bay, all right? But he's a turnover machine. He is the biggest turnover machine in the NFL. So to go from the biggest turnover machine in the NFL, 5,000 yards doesn't fucking matter if you're losing the game, period. 33 touchdowns, 30 picks, 5,000 yards, who cares? No one cares if you're not winning games, you're not going to the playoffs, and you're losing. No one gives a shit. Facts. Calvin Griffin, Onyemata over Rankins. I do like him. He definitely has to stay healthy. So we'll have to kind of wait and see. Brute saying our biggest issue is wide receiver depth. Like I said, I ain't no dummy. Said which was our problem during the 2017-2019 span. 2020, we had Sanders. Now he's gone. Now we're back to the same crap. And Jared Cook, even though he fumbled in those big games, right? And sometimes he played good. Sometimes he played like crap. Depending on the consistency you get with the new guys at tight end, on what they can do, probably will play better than Jared Cook. But there's going to be some games where you might miss Jared Cook. Some Saints fans are like, fuck that. Fumbled too much, fucked up too much. Good riddance. Now he's on the Chargers, right? But there'll be times where maybe if there's some injuries on the tight end position, maybe you'll be like, damn, I wish Jared Cook was still here. That might come up once or twice next year, especially the lack of depth at wide receiver, and that's big facts. Eating some homemade pizza. Don't come on, tighten up. Trying to get me all hungry right now. Come on, man. T-Rex about to fall off the face of the earth. We'll see. He had a really good pass rush rate last season, which was a big part of the Saints scheme and the defense and what they had. But the Bengals don't really have a whole lot of players. So Steelers O-line isn't that good. Ravens O-line, they just lost Orlando Brown to the Chiefs, right? The Browns O-line's pretty good with Jedrick Wills Jr., Roll Tide. Love him. Jack Conklin, they got a little bit better. So I don't think he'll fall off the face of the earth. He might not have as good of a season as last year, but it wouldn't surprise me if T-Rex gets 10 sack lunches. Yum, 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 yum. Still pretty good player. That's facts. He came out of nowhere. Davenport, when healthy, was arguably the best player on the line, just can't stay on the damn field. Agreed. I definitely agree. Davenport's got a lot of skills. I will take Cameron Jordan over Davenport, but Davenport can't stay on the field. Sheldon Rankins had an issue with kind of staying on the field and being healthy as well. You have a lot of guys that you've drafted over the years on that D-line, and it seems like they just can't stay healthy besides Cameron Jordan. So that's big facts. Bridgewater ain't winning shit the fuck out of here. He won't turn it over, but he don't take it. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying, though. I mean, if you guys had Teddy Bridgewater right now, I'm not saying that would be the solution, right? But Bridgewater won those games for you guys, and you know what I mean? It wasn't necessarily just him. It was the defense, as we know, and AK-41 in the running game. Back when Drew Brees got hurt. But when Bridgewater didn't turn the football over, he's limited. I get it. But you want a guy that's not going to be able to lose the game for you. And that's what he did for me in Tampa Bay year in and year out. And hopefully that doesn't happen to you guys as well. He said, biggest turnover machine goes to Nate Peterman, the GOAT. Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens this upcoming year. And as far as Winston, how many 30 interception season this dude got? Because y'all talking like it's every season. Well, of course, you guys are defending him like he's your long-lost brother and he's going to be going to jail for 50 years. Of course, when you guys were talking shit on how horrible he was on my team, and then now you're defending him like he's fucking the best thing since sliced bread on this God green earth. All right, let's not get it twisted. He's not a good football player. All right, I had pretty much almost the same team, and I went to the Super Bowl and I won. You know what I mean? There was obviously Tristan Wirfs and Antoine Winfield Jr., AB, Gronk, Tom Brady. I get it. All right. But essentially I had probably about 70% of the same roster, and this fucker could only get 4 to 7 wins. Turnover machine. We'll see what happens for you guys, but I don't believe in him. I think you guys can get someone a little bit better. Frederick Odell. Of course, they're going to use Deontay Harris. He's a speedster. He's one of the funnest guys to watch on the team on offense. That's not Michael Thomas or AK-41. But is he a true number 2 receiver? A number 3 receiver? I mean, it's one of those guys. He can play special teams, and you can plug and play him. But I don't know if he's going to be good enough to be the guy. I don't think he is. You know what I mean? You got other options there. He's a nice kind of third option, receiver and a guy that can be on special teams. I love his speed and I love his game-breaking ability. Let's not get it twisted, but you need more depth. And I think any Saints fan will tell you that. Brute saying, I'm sorry, but when Jameis throws for 5K and 30 TDs and 30 picks, I can't say he'll be bad because it's one thing he needs to fix. But can he fix it? He's been this way forever. And he doesn't make good decisions. He stares down receivers. You know what I mean? He can't go through his progressions. I mean, if anyone knows Jameis, dude, it should be me. I watched him at Florida State lose to Oregon. I watched him on Tampa Bay on my very own team. Jameis or Mariota weren't going to succeed on Tampa Bay, all right? But you have to understand, Jameis is not your long-term answer. You can be optimistic, all right? But you're not going to the playoffs this year. It's just not happening. You know what I mean? It's just not going to happen with that roster. Too many guys that you got, on defense that are not there. I still love AK-41. Michael Thomas, the offensive line's great. Sean Payton, he's going to lose some games for you. He's going to win some games for you, right? But I just think and put everything on Jameis. At some point, Taysom Hill is going to come in and take Jameis's job. Jameis will be on the bench, and then he'll be a bench guy for the rest of his career. That's facts. And then you guys will be looking for the new Drew Brees in the upcoming season because that's what you guys need. Someone better than that. Someone better than Taysom. Someone better than Jameis. Facts. Sheldon Rankin's another one that kept breaking. Absolutely. Let's see. Calvin Griffin said, Saints can kiss my ass too, he says. He said, got on my goddamn nerves, always drafting these players that hurt 62% of their college career, thinking shit going to change in the NFL. Facts. And I like it, though, because the thing is with Saints fans, Calvin Griffin, there's some things that you love about your team, but you're a realist. You're a real one. Brute Saint, you're a pretty real one, too. So anyone that can evaluate their team properly, and a lot of people like Young Nola thinks that I'm talking shit, you know what I mean, as a Bucs fan, but I'm not. I'm just pointing out the obvious. When you guys don't have wide receiver depth, that's not me being an asshole and saying the Saints suck. It's just that you guys were Super Bowl caliber teams for the last 4 or 5 years, and the writing is on the wall. I'm not saying that anything that's not true, you know what I mean? But we'll see. Everyone's got an opinion, and I do root for you guys to play well because I want the rivalry to be good. I don't want to beat you guys down 2 times a year. And even if I wanted that, it wouldn't happen because you guys are way too competitive. Same thing with the Panthers and the Falcons. We're very competitive in that NFC South, but I like it when the teams are good. I don't like it when the teams are the fucking Detroit Lions of the league, like my Tampa Bay Buccaneers with Jameis. No one wants to be in that position. You know what I'm saying? That's facts. I know Mariota isn't much better, but I laugh when Tampa picked up Winston over him. I wasn't, because where did Jameis Winston play football? Florida State. Where's Tampa? In Florida. I already knew that they were going to go that direction, but based on the weapons and the coaching that I had, Mariota wouldn't have succeeded there either. And like I said, look at Carson Wentz, look at Jared Goff, look at Winston, look at Mariota. It's no guarantee you get picked 1, 2 that you're going to pan out and be great. That's facts. I mean, some of these guys that get drafted in the 2nd, 3rd, Brady, late round, 6th, 7th round, they can still make names for themselves. It's about coaching and the system, sometimes more than just the player. The only team that Mariota can go to get his career back on track, to me personally, is the New England Patriots. But I don't know. You're going to have to get rid of Cam, at some point. Bring in, obviously Mac Jones, and then have Mariota maybe be the backup. Fight for the job. But Mariota in that system, I think he could succeed. But many other places, I'm not too sure. And that's facts. So Taysom going to come in and fumble 45 times. Well, that's true. That's what I'm saying. All right, here we go. We got a hater in the building. AKR the Greek, Bucks suck. Well, last time I checked, Tampa Bay won the Super Bowl. All right, Super Bowl 55. So obviously that is not true. Haters are always welcome in the building, and we're still the best team going into 2021 besides the Kansas City Chiefs. So we'll see what happens. That's big facts. I don't know what kind of hate comments are going to get to me. Come on, man. We won the fucking Super Bowl. Super Bowl 37 against the Raiders. And then we beat the Chiefs, and Mahomes didn't even get a goddamn touchdown. Get the fuck out of here with that. Bring on Ian Book. Yeah, he ain't the answer either. He ain't that. That ain't. Here we go. From one Saint fan to another. Hey, I wish that was true, but it's just not. LOL. Absolutely. Big T. Oh, Big T. Oh, I like your little photo there. My guy, Family Guy, my guy. NFC West, still most competitive division. They are the best division in football. Niners, they're going to make the playoffs. Rams could win the division. Seahawks, you can't count them out because they got Russell Wilson. O-line's garbage, defense is garbage, but they got Danger Russ. They got DK Metcalf, Tyler, get to the door and lock it. Carson, they still got some weapons there. And then you got Kyler and the Cardinals, and I think they're going to be able to get in as well. They are the best division in football. That's facts. We have not said anything otherwise here on the Northwest Sports Fanatics. South is the most competitive. I don't know. I think as we're moving forward, you can definitely see that the NFC West is the best team. Best teams overall, because all four can make the playoffs. You can't say that for Atlanta. You might be able to say that for the Saints or the Panthers, to be able to get in as a wild card, but the Falcons have 0% chance. Well, I can't say zero. Falcons probably have like a 15% chance to make it unless Matt Ryan goes crazy. Kyle Pitts, is the best tight end in football, and Calvin Ridley goes off and the defense plays crazy, but I just don't see that happening. I was so happy when we got Mariota over Winston. Hey, I think everyone wanted Mariota over Winston. I definitely was not. Happy with Jameis Winston. Oh, now we got AKR DeGreek is changing his mind. Just playing with you, dog. The Bucs are pretty dope right now, of course, man. But I always give love to the Saints and all the other teams. You know what I mean? No one can talk shit to me. We're the champs. We're Tampa Bay, and we were a shitty team from 2007. I didn't make the playoffs. The season was over for me from 2008 till 2019 in October, every single year. How many people do you know that would be able to root for a team that when you knew the season was over in October and you would watch all the games still and still root your team on? Not a lot. You know what I mean? It's easy when your team's a winner, like the Steelers typically, or New England, or, the Saints in the last 4 or 5 years, even though they had a rough spot, with the Aaron Brooks era, and then they had to kind of Marquise Colston. They've gone through the ups and downs. I ain't no dummy, man. I've been watching a lot of football. I've been watching football since 1985, so I know things, man. I know things. All right. AFC North, pretty good too. AFC North is good. You got the Browns, right? You got the Ravens. Steelers and Bengals, though, not that good. All right. I'm not really sold on the Steelers. No O-line. I'm not sold on Big Ben. And the Bengals got no O-line. They got Jamar Chase and Burrow. But the only two teams that are legit in that division are the Ravens and the Browns. And that's facts. Calvin Griffin says Panthers ain't doing shit. We'll see. We'll see. Oh, AKR DeGreek ain't even a Saints fan. He's a Panthers fan. He said, but we need to step up the season for sure. I thought you were a Saints fan, my guy. We do have some Panther fans in the building. I actually think that, Sam Darnold's going to play well. You got Robbie, Run CMC needs to stay healthy. You got, DJ Moore, underrated. Curtis Samuel's gone. So you're going to have to see what he does on the Washington football team. Your boy knows Panther football. I follow you guys very closely. Brian Spider Burns is a beast. Jeremy Chin. Do I need to keep going? I probably know just as much as the Panthers football as you, my guy. I follow the NFC South very thoroughly. But I think the Panthers probably have a slight better chance of making the playoffs than the Saints or Falcons right now. But it all depends on Run CMC, Darnold, the coaching staff, the defense. They have pieces, but they also got a stud in J.C. Horn, which I love. So I want to be able to see, the progression with the defense, Spider Burns, J.C. Horn, Jeremy Chin. You got some, right? But you still need a little bit more. And we obviously saw Derek Brown. We need some more progression out of that too. It'll be interesting to see what the Panthers do moving forward. And that's facts. Calvin Griffin, Saints fan, says the Panthers are going to be a shitty team for the next 20 years. Oh, man. Manny Gonzalez. I'm a Rams fan. I feel that. Yeah, Ramley, right? And like I said, with the Rams, I ain't no dummy. So, John Johnson, the third, gone, right? Right? Troy Hill, gone. Michael Brockers, gone. D coordinator, gone. Seahawks, right? A lot of guys are gone. Malcolm Brown, gone. So it's like you got Matthew Stafford, but the defense is really the question. Aaron Donald's there. Jalen Ramsey's there. I get it. But you lost a lot of key guys that made a lot of defensive plays. So I think the Ramley has a great shot to win the division. But if they don't, and the Niners win it, they're still going to be able to do some damage. And the Rams, if they get that defense, under some kind of discipline, and then they can end up fighting themselves. They're probably the biggest threat to Tampa Bay in the NFC. I mean, we got to see what the Niners do with Trey Area, as well as Green Bay and Aaron Rodgers and some of these other teams. But I think the Rams, they got to keep retooling that defense, and losing those three key guys and the D coordinator were big, and losing some of the coaching staff. But the Rams with Stafford are going to be very exciting. I can't wait to be able to see what they're going to do. Dylan says Panthers aren't really looking that bad. Yeah, I think that they got some opportunities there, but Darnold needs to prove that he can do it. Offensive line needs to be a little bit better, and losing Curtis Samuel is going to hurt. Yeah, I know you got Robbie for the deep threat, right? And you got some other pieces there. Terrence Marshall, who should be pretty good. You got J.C. Horn. You got some studs. You got some studs in the draft, but it's all about chemistry and bringing it all together. Najee, Rookie of the Year, either him or Trevor Lawrence. I definitely agree. Tighten up 22. As mediocre as he was, Mariota make the Titans an actual playoff team, but thank God we got Tannehill now. I love Tannehill. My favorite quarterback that's not Tom Brady, that's not a superstar quarterback. Hairball. So I heard Frank Clark got arrested for weapons violation in LA. I don't have a good feeling about the Chiefs this season. I do. I still think that, hairball, that the Chiefs are going to be the best team in the AFC, and counting them out would be very not wise of you. I still think that they can make the Super Bowl again, and it wouldn't surprise me if they ended up winning the Super Bowl with all the additions that they made on the offensive line. Big facts. Sucks we got rid of Curtis Samuel. He's bringing lots of talent to the team. DJ Moore has more natural talent. And obviously, I'm a Bucs fan, but I'm not stupid. I do a lot of research and film study. DJ Moore might be one of the more underrated wide receivers in the league, just like Tyler, Get to the Door and Lockett, Robert Woods, and Cooper Kupp. But, Curtis Samuel joining, obviously his former teammate at The Ohio State University on the Washington football team, scary Terry McLaurin, that'll help them. But losing Curtis Samuel, he was kind of your gadget guy, and it won't be that much of a loss as long as you can get Run CMC healthy throughout the full season. And then you get, Terrace Marshall, Junior, some action. You can end up getting some action, from Robbie, and you can get some action from some of the other guys like DJ Moore that can get it done. All right. Yeah, Chiefs are still going to be a Super Bowl contender. Big facts, man. Manny Gonzalez. I was just talking about watching your team be shit for so long. That's what I was referencing. Yeah, my team was shitty for a long, long time. I said, go Bills. Chiefs will be in the playoffs for sure. I'm being pessimistic. Go Bills, Calvin Griffin. Hey, they don't got a running game, though. If you don't got a running game, you ain't going to be able to do anything. You can get to the game, but like I said, if it's the Bills and the Browns in the AFC Championship game, I'm going Browns. If it's Chiefs and Bills, I'm going Chiefs. You got to have some kind of running game. And even though the Chiefs running game might not be the greatest either, they got Bieniemy, all right? They end up, having the right pieces in the right time. They got, Spagnuolo. If you just look at the Chiefs and the way that they're built with Honey Badger and Frank Clark and Chris Jones, and the rest of the supporting cast, that some of the secondary is a little shaky, a little young, right? But you got Patrick the Clone Mahomes, and, if you got him, anything is possible. Who do you think is going to win Defensive Rookie of the Year? On offense, I got Najee Harris as well as Trevor Lawrence. It's going to be one of those two guys more than likely. And I think Micah Parsons for Dallas has got to be the front runner. But also, Davis on Washington. There's going to be a lot of guys. Kwity Paye. There's a lot of guys that can, make a name for themselves and get some damage. But Micah Parsons definitely has to be in the running because the defense is going to be shitty. So if he makes a lot of plays and Dallas makes the playoffs, he's going to get some love. And like I said, I don't think he's going to be as good as Devin White or a Darius Leonard or a Fred Warner or Bobby Wagner, but you never know. I mean, he could be. It's very, very possible. And that's big facts. So this is my first stream here on StreamYard. 2 hours in. I think I'm going to call it a night. Like I said, I've worked all day today. Haven't got a chance to eat dinner or really, do more research or film study. But I appreciate every single one of y'all hopping in the room, being active in the chat, donating to your boy. I love you guys, and I appreciate you guys very, very much. It looks like the video turned out good. No lagging. The audio is good. You get to see this ugly mug, and this will be the setup moving forward as we're going into the season. I got 3 new co-hosts that are going to be joining me this season as well. Swaggy P, Zach, and my boy Joey Gomez, representing the Cowboys and the Colts and the Chargers. And then there'll be a few others. And as we go into the season, if you have StreamYard, and I know you, I might have you as a guest on the stream. And that way we can have a couple fans other than me on the stream for StreamYard, which is cool. I think I can invite up to 3 people on the stream. So it'll be me and possibly up to 3 others, 1, 2, or 3 that we could have in the room. I think that would be awesome. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. But I appreciate every single one of y'all. Hairball, Manny Gonzalez, tighten up, AKR to Greek, Calvin Griffin, tighten up everyone that's in the building, anyone that's donated, showed love. Like I said, I think this is the new program that I want to use over OBS. It's working much better. Love you guys. Fanatic family. Grind to 20K is real. I'll be back tomorrow. Full-time job. No worries. It's hot as hell. 90 to 100 degrees here in Oregon for the next 10 days. I am ready to be on the grind Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m., somewhere in that general range, unless I stream earlier. Keep a lookout. Turn the notifications on. Hit the fucking bell. Subscribe to the channel. And I got one question for you. Who you know talk sports like us? Your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics. I'll be back tomorrow. Love you guys. Appreciate you guys. Dylan in the building. Appreciate you. Calvin Griffin. Appreciate you. Love you guys. Peace.